Welcome to the Mountain Television Network Game of the Week. We're here in the volunteer state of Tennessee. We come over here across the border every once in a while to cover Cloudland and Unaka and some other teams like that. But we're here at Elizabethton High School right in downtown Elizabethton, Tennessee. And what a game we've got in store for you tonight. It opens up the door for a top 5 matchup. 2 top 5 ranked teams in the 4A division here in the state of Tennessee. Greenville comes in at number 1, the Green Devils at 7-0, and Elizabethton Fighting Cyclones come in at number 4 at 6-1. They're both tied for the conference lead at 3-0. Elizabethton is in a current 6-game winning streak, and of course Greenville is yet to lose this year. Elizabethton's only loss coming back in August to a very good Science Hill team, and Science Hill currently ranked in the 6A division at number 6 this week. But we're looking forward to this one. Boy, I tell you, this is a good matchup in front of what appears to be a very good crowd. They're still flowing into the stadium here. Wide open stadium right in downtown Elizabethton. Couldn't ask for a better atmosphere. The weather is very good right now, but we have a dark cloud in the background. We hope it stays back there towards the North Carolina area. But Mountain TV in Boone, North Carolina is here in Elizabethton to bring you this one, and it should be a great game. Terry Smith and I will be making the call from the press box, so come back and see this exciting action right here in Tennessee on the Mountain Television Network.
Please direct your attention to the west end zone as you welcome our Elizabethton Cyclones.
Welcome to Elizabethton High School in Elizabethton, Tennessee, as we're here for this matchup between the Cyclones of Elizabethton. Here come the Cyclones! And here they come. Head coach Sean Whitten and his Cyclones hit the field. And we're awaiting the entrance of the Green Devils of Greenville, Tennessee, about 45 minutes up the road. This is a big 4A matchup. These two teams are in the top 5 in the rankings. This is the game of the week in Tennessee. And we're here to cover it for you on the Mountain Television Network. I'm Lynn Murphy along with Terry Smith. Terry, a former player, coach, All-American at Furman, and he even played a couple of years for the New England Patriots. Terry, good to have you here with me tonight.
Hey, Lance, great to be here. I tell you, fantastic atmosphere. The state championship band right there, Elizabethton High School, does a fantastic job. Excellent cheerleaders here, and the Elizabethton football team coming out. Sean Whitten coming in. He's 2007, his first year coaching, done a fantastic job ever since he's been here, really taking it to the semifinals in the state 3 times. And this year he could have his best team ever. They've only had 1 loss so far. That was Science Hill, first game of the year, 50-25. Had 6 straight wins since then, and the offense is just overpowering. And we're getting ready here to have the national anthem, so we'll turn it on down to the sideline out on the field.
Please stand and join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for allowing us to partake in a game that we all love. I pray you allow both teams to perform to the best of their abilities and keep themselves on doing so. Let us give you all the glory for the talents you have given us. I pray both teams display sportsmanship on and off the field, so we can honor you with everything we say and do. I ask you give everyone safe travels home. We love and praise you. In your name we pray. Amen. The national anthem will be performed by the EHS Mixed Ensemble under the direction of the lovely Miss Debbie Butte.
Terry, Greenville's about to miss the national anthem. They've yet to show up in the stadium. I just heard a roar out of their dressing room just a minute ago. Had a prayer before the game and
getting ready to sing the national anthem here.
What a crowd.
offense here. I was mentioning Corey Russell, 748 yards rushing on the season, 1,100 yards of total offense. And then you've got Carter Everett, the quarterback, 6'5", fantastic thrower, completed 74% of his passes so far this year, more than 1,500 yards, leading Northeast Tennessee in passing. You know, just fantastic quarterback, 21 touchdown passes, only 2 interceptions on the season. And then look at the receiving core, Ryan Wetzel, who's a tremendous 14 touchdowns, leads this whole area in touchdown receptions, 543 yards receiving. He goes up for the ball. What the real key is for Greenville, what they're looking to try to stop him is he loves to run the fade route. He'll run quick stuff and he'll run quick outs, but then he'll run the fade route and he jumps so well and catches the ball at the highest point. He's very tall, long arms, but a tremendous extension catching the football. I've seen him take away about 8 touchdowns away from the corners this year, just reaching over the top of them on touchdown passes. And then you look at Evan Perkins, who's the other in the slot, and he's a key player for him. A lot of times he gets overlooked, but he's one of the real key factors because the defense can actually roll up and go double Ryan, roll him up in the flat and cover the safety across the top, but you can't do that with Evan in that slot. And so it's really crucial. He's a great player, 443 yards receiving on the season so far.
And here come the Green Devils of Greenville, Tennessee, ranked number 1 in the state of Tennessee in 4A, unbeaten at 7-0. We mentioned Elizabethton at number 4 in the state, right behind them at 6-1. And both of them, Terry, tied for the conference lead right now at 3-0. So whoever wins this game is almost a shoo-in for the conference championship.
Right, absolutely. Only 2 games left after this. Nestor Grubb there, number 44, one of the captains. Inside linebacker, leads the team in tackles. You have number 46, Joseph Collins, defensive end. Number 50 is Cameron Coleman. He's signed with Furman. He's committed to Furman already. Tremendous defensive tackle, defensive end.
Which one is that?
Number 50 there on the right side.
Yeah.
And then also number 58, Chandler Mullins, who plays offensive line and also is the long snapper for him.
So Cameron Coleman going to your old university down there in Greenville, South Carolina.
He's a tremendous player, and they're going to try to handle him. 6'3", 285 pounds, very quick, explosive, makes a lot of big plays. One of the leaders in the state in tackles for loss, with 10 tackles for the loss this year so far. On the other side, Greenville, their quarterback is Cade Ballard. He's just a junior, but he was the sophomore of the year. He was chosen sophomore of the year for the Knoxville area. So Greenville is considered in the Knoxville area. So he was a sophomore of the year in all of Knoxville area. Over 2,000 yards passing last year. Tremendous quarterback, also a good runner. He's only 5'10", 195, very strong physical runner. Over 400 yards rushing on the year and just less than Carter Everett passing, 1,459 yards passing. He's a dual threat. He's the guy that Elizabethton has to stop because Cade Ballard will run the football more than all the rest of the runners combined on their team. He's run it 83 times this year. The rest of the players combined only 77.
So we've got 2 strong quarterbacks in this matchup for both teams. Should be interesting offensively here tonight. So keep your eyes wide open and take a seat. Have a little rum cake and enjoy this one on a Friday night.
Yeah, all 3 of the players we talked about, Corey Russell, Carter Everett, and Cade Ballard, all just juniors. Carter Everett's definitely a quarterback there for Elizabeth, definitely going to be playing college football, as is Corey Russell.
So we're ready for the kickoff. It'll be Greenville kicking off to the Cyclones. 2 men back to receive at their own 3, and this one's going to go sailing into the end zone, almost across the crossbar for a long field goal. And so they'll bring it out to the 20 where Elizabethton will have it 1st and 10. What a big crowd here, Terry. The band for Elizabethton in one end zone, and we've got the Green Devil band here as well.
Greenville likes to run a lot of zone defense, and so a great ball control passing game that Sean Witt has put in here, and the way he practices it with Elizabethton, 74% completion rate for Carter Everett. So Greenville is going to have trouble stopping out of that zone defense.
In the shotgun, the pass is over to the right side and complete there for about a 5-yard pickup.
That's Ryan Wetzel. Loves to run those hitch routes, stop routes, and also quick outs, and then he'll beat you on that fade route. 2 deep zone that time for Greenville. They played that zone. The corner kind of backed out of there. When you're normally playing a 2 deep zone, the corner plays a little bit tougher, but they're trying to bend but don't break philosophy. But a nice pickup of 5 yards there, Len.
So the ball, the tip of the football, set at the 25. Cyclones going left to right on your television screen. Yeah, we've been over here to Unaka and Clallan over the years, Terry, in our 10-year history of doing high school football in the mountain area. Yet this is our first Elizabethton game and first visit to Elizabethton, Tennessee. And boy, do I like this area. You see 321 right across from us here from the football stadium going over towards Johnson City. We're just about 10-15 minutes from Johnson City area. But no seats in the house, no parking spaces in the parking lot for this one.
And I tell you, the band here for Elizabethton just adds so much atmosphere. It's unbelievable. State champion band. Here we go.
Once again in the shotgun. Oh, snap it back. Number 5. Corey Russell on the carry.
Handoff, and Elizabethton, Corey averages 11 yards a carry with that 748 yards and 12 touchdowns. They also, as a team, they average 7.6 yards a carry, Elizabethton does, but because they have such a great ball control passing game, they don't run the ball that much, and that's going to be a key factor tonight in getting that.
Both number 5, Corey Russell, and number 6, Carter Everett, listed as quarterbacks. And that time it went to Russell in the Wildcat.
Quick out.
And almost intercepted. Good defensive play. Number 23 for Elizabethton. That's Seth Crawford making the almost a pick 6 there.
Crawford's their leading receiver, over 600 yards receiving, and he also has 10 touchdowns, but he leads the area, this region, with 4 interceptions. So he's a great defensive player also.
Hensley will be back to punt it for the Cyclones, standing back at his own 11.
Cade averaging snap. Almost 38 yards a punt.
Oh, off the side of his foot that time. Not a particularly good foot into that one. And it will go out of bounds. They'll mark it at the, let's see, they're going to stand there around the 45 is where they said cross the out-of-bounds line.
Cade, an excellent punter and kicker. Just a freshman. Fantastic job he's been doing all year. Punting into that wind that time, and he just didn't quite catch it right. Plus the wind held it up some.
Well, he may have some freshman jitters, too, out there. Good crowd on hand. Probably the biggest crowd he's ever played in front of.
We see all these fans all around the bank, all standing on entirely circling the stadium.
And this is a beautiful, wide-open stadium.
Bubble screen right.
And it's complete. It's number 3 for the Green Devils. Crawford with the reception.
Crawford there on the...
Stopped by Vance.
Vance on the tackle for Elizabethton.
Yeah, Vance, one of the leading tacklers on this Elizabethton team from his outside linebacker spot.
2nd and 5.
2nd down and 5. Pick up a 5 that time on that pass completion. Here's the handoff. 47.
Great job inside.
That's Ty Youngblood.
Vance again there in on the tackle along with
Vance
Cameron
again
Coleman
on the top
also.
tackle.
Yeah.
And 2.
Jared Grindstaff, number 51, he's going to be playing both ways tonight on the defensive line and the offensive line.
Boy, he's a big boy too, isn't he?
Yeah, he and Cameron Coleman really stalwarts there on that defensive front.
275 pounds.
3rd down and 2. Ballard checks off, looks over at his father. His father's the head coach.
Oh, that's right. You told me that before the game.
What a play!
And he keeps it, number 2.
Looked like he was a little bit short, but they gave him a good spot. It's going to be very close to the 1st down. Boy, they almost got him for the loss.
Well, let's see where they're going to spot it here. That's he had to get to the 35.
They're going to give it to him right on the line.
Yep.
But what a fantastic stadium line here. They built it 3 years ago. They raised the money, and as you know, Sean Witten, the tight end for the Dallas Cowboys, was a great player here along. And Sean Witten, the head coach for Elizabethton, they're brothers, and they played together back years ago. So
this is a 3-year-old stadium.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I mean, it's the nicest high school stadium that I've ever seen.
I knew the turf was new.
Bubble screen out here to the left. Oh, and he doesn't hold on.
Well, if the defender had been on him closely, he would have possibly had that one intercepted, intended there for number 3.
Bone there, they said, number 3. He's not on your roster, but they changed a couple of the numbers Greenville has. Ballard actually on the original roster listed as number 7, but he's been wearing number 2 this year.
So it brings up 2nd and 10.
Huge play here. Elizabethton's got it. When they get into these long yardage, when something good happens there defensively, you get into a long yardage situation, they got to clamp down right here and come up with a stop.
4 wide, 3 to the near side.
Little bunch set to the left side. Good coverage. Ballard scrambling.
He's looking. He decides to keep it, tucks it under, and gets across the 30 down to the 28-yard line. They got to get to the 25, or close to the 25 for the first down.
But Ballard's such a strong athlete, 195 pounds there. He lives in the weight room. So I mean, he's really dedicated.
You can tell. Not very tall, but very stocky. 3rd and 4.
Big play right here, high snap.
They hand it to the fullback. He's stopped
short by about 3 yards, 4th and 3. Now they got a great kicker, Eli Shepard, that hasn't missed a kick all year. He's 38 for 38 on extra points, 3 for 3 on field goals, but this would be about a 45-yarder if they were to kick it here, and we'll see whether or not Coach Ballard decides to do it. Coach Ballard's got 99 wins coming into tonight. And he's going to, he's looking for his 100th win.
Looking for the century mark.
Yeah. So 99 wins. Sean Witten's got 93 wins. So both of them right up there. Tremendous coaches, both of them are.
Well, they're going for it.
Big play. Bunch set here. Got 3 against the 2, though.
Ballard looks for the pass, and he's got the receiver. There at the 20. He gets away from one tackle, and all the way down, he steps out of bounds, they say, at the 13-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Green Devils.
Playing a little bit soft there in that situation, 4th and 3, and a hitch route there to Crawford, and it was just, he was able to get that catch and get up the field.
Ballard likes to put it in the air. He's got his big fullback back there who weighs close to 200 pounds, only a sophomore, Ty Youngblood.
Quarterback sweep to the left side. What a play!
And they got it.
Yes!
A loss on the play all the way back to the 22-yard line.
Kilroy Hill, one of the leaders on this team in tackles for loss. He has 5 coming into tonight. He just got his 6th. Over there on that last play, Adam Cornett made the tackle up top.
They'll mark it, Terry, at the 18.
Yeah, so it's going to be 2nd and about 15.
So 2nd and long.
Ballard keeps it.
Ballard keeps it up the middle, down to the 15.
This Cyclone defensive front is looking tremendous tonight here, Len. I mean, that was the one thing you think about with Ballard with his strength. But boy, the defensive front and linebackers are playing a fantastic ball game so far. It's going to be 3rd down and about 12.
So he almost gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. 7:06, 7:05. We just got the first quarter started. And the first series here for Greenville. Elizabethton was, 3 and out on their first series?
Rolling.
Ballard looking.
Oh, he's in trouble. He's in trouble.
He sees someone in the end zone. It's knocked away. Beautiful defensive play. Got a hand on it that time.
Parker Hughes back there, just a freshman, has been a starter really pretty much all season, but by the 2nd game of the year, he was a full-time starter, done a tremendous job as a freshman. Also an excellent receiver, but he's done a great job there at safety. So it's going to be 4th down and 12. They're going to bring in Shepard.
So Shepard will be doing the field goal attempt. They'll tee it up as
He's not missed a kick all year, as I mentioned. 38 for 38 extra points, 3 for 3 on field goals. This is a 32-yarder. So it's going to be, he's got the wind behind him, so this is not a problem at all. But sometimes that wind makes it, carries it, keeps it straight. When you're playing golf and you hit the shot, it doesn't necessarily have as much bend to it. So we'll see whether or not they might push it right on this.
So they'll tee it up at the 22-yard line, a 32-yard attempt. The snap, the placement, it's a good one. And it goes through the uprights.
Oh, he got it.
Plenty of room to spare. He's got a strong leg, Terry.
Yeah, he does, but nice job by the defense, though. You figure it was short field. They took over on the 45-yard line. Elizabethton's defense played very well right there. Now, we have to think about offensively now what we're going to do. Coach Whitten and his staff, just a tremendous staff they have here at Elizabethton. Great coaches, really all college-level coaches. Coach Whitten, a college-level head coach, and they'll make some adjustments. Now, it was a 3-and-out, as you mentioned there, Len, the first time they had the football. Now they're going to, they try to throw short, but that corner's rolled up. What Greenville's doing is they're playing a two-deep zone. So they'll either line up the two corners and the two safeties there, or if they go into a slot to one side, then they'll walk the outside linebacker out there on him like a strong safety and play like what I would call a cover 5. So you're bumping each one of those receivers playing too deep behind it. So it's going to be hard to throw those short routes. Elizabethton's going to have to try to get the ball in there in the hole. The weakness of that two-deep zone is up the middle and down in the hole routes to the outside on the sideline. And that's what Ryan Wetzel does so well. And over the middle is what Evan Perkins does so well.
Well, that's a victory in itself for Elizabethton. They got the ball, Greenville, on Elizabethton's 45 in their territory and were held to just a field goal from a good defensive effort by the Cyclones. This one sails once again out of the end zone on that strong leg.
He's got a strong leg, but also has that breeze behind him, which helps to carry it. So maybe
it's probably about an 8 to 10 mile an hour breeze behind him.
So now
flag post in the end zone and on the left side here on the far end zone.
But Coach Whitten does such a tremendous job. As I mentioned, he came in 2007 is whenever he took over as the head coach. He's 93-37. Kane Ballard on the other side, 99-15. And 3 state semifinals for Elizabethton. Last year made it to the quarterfinal.
And you didn't play against his brother in the NFL, did you?
He was after
Jason.
I was.
And here's the handoff off the left side, pickup of a couple.
Put Corey Russell back there, the running back, took the direct snap, and he cut over the left side and picked up about 2. He's a great runner. He's actually from Roan Mountain. And in Carter County, Elizabethton is based in Carter County, so students can move around to whichever school they want within Carter County. So he comes down from Cloudland.
Yeah, I went by Cloudland and Hampton both, and they're having their homecoming game tonight.
Carter Everett looks, out route. Oh, nice one.
Nice completion
Zach
there.
Hartley.
And he crosses the 25 up to the 27.
Zach Hartley, just a sophomore, tremendous speed. He throws. He's a great sprinter on the track team. Runs 400, runs a number of the relays last year as a freshman, and a very fast, outstanding athlete. And he's got about 20 catches on the season here so far.
Pickup of about 7 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and a long 3. From the shotgun.
They walk out and try to bump each of those receivers. They got the linebackers. Now they only have 5 guys in the box, so they're 4 defensive linemen, 1 linebacker in the middle. Direct snap to Corey. There we go. He got some room.
And he got the first down, and then some. Knocked out of bounds at the 31, 32-yard line.
What you have there is when you and I used to do the Appalachian State games with Armani Edwards, remember how oftentimes Appalachian would spread out into a double slot, and the defenses would line up at 4-3, and they would take their outside linebackers out onto the slots, and that would only leave 4 defensive linemen and 1 linebacker in the box area, and Armani used to just run like crazy. Well, that's exactly what Elizabethton did right there. There was only 5 guys in the box, and they snapped it to Corey, and he picked up the first down.
That's the way you spread your backfield, defensive backfield out.
Yes, you're right.
Linebackers included.
Austin Outland motions.
Here's the handoff, and it's up the middle again. Russell on the carry up to the 34.
Again, another direct snap, and they're starting to get a little bit of softness in there. They're just starting to pound it up inside. Best 2 runs they've had so far, these last 2, picking up 4, so maybe they're wearing down. One of the factors that could come into play here, Greenville plays a lot more guys both ways, offense and defense, than Elizabethton. Elizabethton really plays one way, and so therefore it could be a fatigue factor as this game progresses.
2nd and 6, they'll mark it at the 35. And here's a direct snap again. Well, they do that a lot. The quarterback, number 6, he doesn't always get the snap. Carter Everett, they'll snap it back to Corey Russell.
That's pretty much new this week. And in most cases, they just snap it to Carter, and then he hands off. But today, they're trying to just a little bit of misdirection there, just snap it and having Corey cut across in front of Carter and take the snap and run it.
Yeah, they did that a lot on their first series.
So it'll be 3rd down and 5. Ryan Wetzel lined up out here, and see they can take that away some with it. They're really kind of doubling him here.
Big 3rd down play.
There's going to be a timeout.
We're going to talk about it.
Timeout.
Sean Whitten wants to talk to his offense. Let's talk about the Whitten family. Jason, we mentioned, plays for Dallas, one of the best tight ends in football, and he has a camp every summer here in Elizabethton. Gets over 1,000 kids. Does it on a Saturday, all-day Saturday event, and he's been doing it for years.
Yeah, my son Ty, who actually is a freshman here on the Elizabethton team, he's down there on the sideline with here on the varsity. He went to that camp this year, so I got an opportunity to see it. A fantastic camp. Sean just works at it, but Jason comes back and he brings some of his NFL teammates, and they put on a tremendous camp, and they just show so much loving and caring. This Elizabethton community is the most amazing community that I've ever seen. They just all pull together. It's all for one and one for all. Everybody no thought about where somebody comes from and around the area. Everybody's just Elizabethton. You're all support Elizabethton.
It's sort of like a small town, big city.
Yeah, it is.
They're almost the size of Johnson City, but it's so engulfed, it's so close together as far as the boundaries are concerned.
Here's 3rd down and 5. You're absolutely right about that. Snap to Corey. Oh, he's got
with it. He's got the 1st down. Looking for more, and he's up to the 42-yard line. Boy, he almost ran backwards and took his 1st down away.
But great job there by Corey, but they're spreading it out. See, they're widening out that defense. On the passing game, Elizabethton, the way that Greenville's playing this defense with that 2 deep zone, they're going to have to get over the middle. They're going to have to find, because whenever they spread it out like that, there's only one linebacker sitting there in the middle, and there's a lot of space in there, and the 2 safeties can be split. The safeties are worried about the outside guys. They need to get up in the middle on in routes and dig routes and on post routes.
And here's Russell again, and he's looking for some room and doesn't really have it. Gets, I think, back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Yeah, Corey had to make 3 guys miss just to get back to the line of scrimmage that time. I think starting to
well, they're starting to put their 1st downs together, Terry. That's 2 or 3 right there on this series.
But they're going to have to come up with something. And the way that they're trying to take away the outside, they're forcing Elizabethton to try to throw over the middle. And it's going to be open over the middle. Now, if you look at the way they're rotating across here now, up top, you've got number 10, Keelan Hall, who's 6'4". He's really been left alone on a fade route. The safety's way over on the hash. So there's an opportunity there.
And once again to Russell. The direct snap, and he's up close to the 45, pickup of maybe 3.
Corey with over career rushing. Corey Russell has 2,200 yards career rushing already. He's only a junior. Carter Everett already over 3,000 yards passing, and he's only a junior.
So they'll mark it at the 44, 3rd and 9. 2:20, 2:19, clock 6 down on the 1st quarter. And it's 3-0 Greenville.
We got to get a receiver over the middle. I think you can get Evan over the middle here.
Here's a pass to the right side. It's complete. It's at the midfield when he caught it. Let's see whether they'll spot it.
He knew he was short, so he tried to go back and around and make him miss. But it's going to be 4th down at about 3.5. So we'll see what Coach Whitten is probably going to. Let's see. He sends out the punting unit.
So he's short. He's short by 4 yards. They mark it at the 49 of Elizabethton, so they'll have no choice but to punt it away.
Cade Hensley back in the ball game.
Back to receive, number 16 in his own 20. So Leland Mitchell waiting to punt.
Nice punt's going to get a good roll right down inside.
Well, you caught it, Terry. It did get a good roll. Right there at the 10-yard line, they'll down it.
Beautiful job. So a 41-yard punt that time from Cade. Pins him back. What Elizabethton really needs is, you look at it, Cade Ballard doesn't turn the ball over very much at all. Only a couple interceptions all season. But Elizabethton, with only 3 interceptions as a team this year, only 2 fumble recoveries as a team, so only 5 turnovers. One of the key factors tonight is going to be creating some turnovers with Elizabethton defense, and that can be the difference in this ballgame.
So let's see what Elizabethton can do, or rather Greenville, deep in their own territory for the first time. Quick pass to number 11.
Goodness gracious, what a play.
That was Dorian
Evan
Goddard.
Park is there, number 14, coming up, along with Kilroy Hill, number 20. What a great play. This Elizabethton defense is the best they've looked all season. They're fired up, ready to play tonight.
Seems like they've got the nerves out of the way, Terry, after the couple of series.
They got some room out there this time, though.
And this pass is complete to the right side this time,
Nice
up to the 15-yard line.
Parker Hughes really saved that with a nice tackle, because what's happening is Greenville's putting trips out there, and Elizabethton's only got 2 defenders plus the safety sitting behind that. So there's an opportunity there. They can block the 2 defenders up tight, and then if they can get, it's one-on-one then with Hughes to make the tackle, and Parker did a great job that time. But if he misses one time, it's going to be wide open.
Jermaine Thompson with the reception, and we got some movement on the line before the snap, so they'll mark it back 5 yards.
They were trying to come this way. The left tackle moved, tried to come out on a reach block over here on this side.
So that'll make it 3rd and 10.
3rd and 10.
So Greenville not doing too well deep in their own territory here against this tough defense of Elizabethton.
Clock's running down.
Once again, the quarterback
tries,
and he doesn't get anything.
Man, that defensive front. What tremendous playing. Jared Grindstaff in there.
Killard with the stop.
Yeah.
So they'll have to put it away, Terry. And this is going to give Elizabethton probably their best field position of the night.
Mistake there really by Greenville, because they let the clock run out. Now they're going to be punting into the wind when we turn it around.
So that's the end of the first quarter. We've played 12 minutes, and the scoreboard only shows 3-0. And Greenville has the lead over Elizabethton. Let's see what the Cyclones can do when they get the ball back here in the second quarter. We'll be back for more high school football from Tennessee, the Volunteer State, right after these high country messages.
To the All-Course. At this time, Dr. Corey Gardenauer and board member
the director of schools, Corey Gardenauer, Dr. Corey Gardenauer down there getting ready to give Sam Laporte.
Of the Cyclones. Let's give them a
he's getting ready. He's presenting a plaque
making this project possible
to Sam Laporte for thanking him for what he gave, his donations here, and what he did here to help to build this stadium. The Laportes are a tremendous family here in Elizabethton, but and they've donated so much to the community, to the stadium, to the track. They got a track here that is actually only a few of them in the country. It's just like University of Oregon's track. It's and the Laportes were the ones that donated to that also.
What is his profession?
He works in the banking industry. So here we go, punting into the wind, but mistake by Greenville. I think they should have called a timeout in order to stop the clock before they had to punt into the wind, so they could have punted with the wind.
So Shepard waiting to punt back at his own goal line.
Corey Russell averaging 12.5 yards per punt return. He can take it all the distance anytime. It's going to be a bit short.
Punt. It's going to take a good bounce, it looks like, and into Cyclone territory down to the 47. Still good field position for the Cyclones. One of their best field positions of the night so far, and they need that field position, Terry, because they trail 3-0.
Yeah. And
they need to get a score on the board. They feel it.
But talking about this stadium, the Laportes, the whole community, it cost $4 million to build this stadium 3 years ago, and it's fantastic.
Where was the old stadium?
They used to play up at what used to be the old high school years and years ago, but it's been the junior high for about the last 30 years. But
was it on the right side of the road?
No, it's up there,
on the same side of the road.
So here we go. Well, we got to figure out a way to get something open over the middle. See, they're widening out. The safeties are widening out and trying to take away the outside. Corey's going to throw it.
He's got a man wide open. all the way down to the 42-yard line, or 47-yard line, or let's say 42-yard line.
He snapped it to Corey that time. It was a halfback option pass, and the Greenville just backed out of there, and Zach Hartley got the reception and picked up the first down.
Crawford with the stop for Greenville, but not until the first down was picked up.
So Sean Witten reaching into his bag of tricks right there, and that's going to hold, just that play right there will make Greenville think about it every time Corey gets that snap.
How was that receiver wide open like that?
They just thought it was going to, they just backed out, and he ran a little bit of a wheel route and then came to a stop.
Here's a snap to Russell.
Corey.
And he's across the 40 and all the way down to the 36-yard line. You can tell that Elizabethton feels it here, Terry. They're itching for a score.
What a tough runner he is. And one of the guys up front there is Garret Jennings, 6'6", 307. You see him at right tackle up there. He's a tremendous offensive lineman. He'll be going somewhere also. 2nd 5.
Two wide to either side.
Elizabethton's starting to wear him down a little bit in that running game.
I tell you, they're getting things to work here all of a sudden. I knew the nerves would get out of them after the first few plays.
Ryan's got a shot here on a fade route. The safety's not as wide as he has been.
Here's Russell again getting the snap. Boy, he's getting more snap than the quarterback, number 6.
Russell on the carry.
They're starting to lull him to sleep a little bit. See, usually Elizabethton's throwing the football 3 out of 4 times, and then they run it on the 4th. But tonight they're running it so often that safeties are starting to get into the run action, run support action, and it's going to open up these receivers to the outside here in a second. I think Ryan Wetzel is going to be open here on this one.
But now Everett will get the snap as he's the only man in the backfield, but in motion is, no, Russell's under center and gets the snap. Boy, I've never seen that.
Corey actually can play quarterback. He played some last year, and last year...
Well, this Carter Everett, number 6, hadn't been getting the ball much tonight. He's a heck of a quarterback.
Oh, he's tremendous. But this is the game plan Sean's got in there, and I'm sure he'll open him up later, but he's lulling Greenville to sleep right now with this running game. But Corey has stepped in when Carter got hurt last year in the state quarterfinal. I think Elizabethton would have won the state championship if he hadn't gotten hurt in that ball game.
Carter Everett, 6'5".
Fade route to Ryan Wetzel. The safety's not widening out anymore. It's starting to be there.
This is Everett with the snap. He's going to keep it.
Carter.
And he crosses the 30 down to about the 29, 28.
Carter can run it too. He's 6'5", so you think that he's more of a drop back style, but he can run the football well.
215 pounds.
But there's a lot of, right now, Sean Witten has had a great game plan. Originally, those safeties were expecting the pass, so they were widening out and really doubling Ryan Wetzel on the outside and Hall on the other side. But now they're starting to play more run support, and it's going to open up this passing game here in a second.
I bet you Everett's a basketball player, just guessing.
Yeah, he is.
Here's Russell, who gets the snap again, and he's almost down to the 25-yard line. A couple of yards short of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd and short. Let's see where they'll spot the football. They'll spot it in front of the 25.
The other factor that comes into this line, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of these Greenville players play both ways. Elizabethton doesn't do that. Jared Grindstaff's having to do it some tonight, but not normally. So the offensive line for Elizabethton is fresher, and they're wearing down this defensive front for Greenville, who's also playing offense sometimes.
I tell you, both teams have a lot of numbers on the sidelines. Here's Russell again. He's down to the 20-yard line and picks up the Fighting Cyclones first down.
First down with the stop.
Yeah, what do you say? About 60, 65 players on the team?
Yeah.
First down.
On both sides of the field.
20.
This is a 4A school. 6A is the largest classification in the state of Tennessee. We mentioned Science Hill in the 6A division.
The other thing that this ball control offense running the football does is it uses a lot of clock. It limits the possessions that Greenville's going to have.
Russell gets the snap, but he's not going to get out of the backfield. Boy, he ran into a wall of white jerseys. And so it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Greenville able to make a play there coming off the block inside, and Corey didn't have anywhere to go.
They'll give him the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
But I think this is going to be a factor. They're starting to wear them down, and it'll tire out them when this defensive front for Greenville when they go back and play on the offensive line.
7.5 minutes before halftime, 3-0 lead. It's been that way since early in the first quarter.
The middle's open. The middle's open. Middle's open.
Everett looking.
Right
He's got a man.
He's
open. Inside the 5, down to about the 4-yard line.
There, that middle is wide open. Keelan Hall. When the way that Greenville's playing, I've been saying all night, the way Greenville's playing that 2-deep zone, they're widening out those safeties on passing situations. It's opening up that in route wide open. Evan Perkins was also open, and then when he was open, the safety came off and tried to cover Evan, and that opened up Hall, Keelan right there, following in behind him on that control in route.
Well, Elizabethton, they don't want to tie it. They want to take the lead here. 6:55.
Unbalanced set here, I formation.
Everett under center. Hand off to number 50.
That's
the
Cameron
fullback.
Coleman. He's the defensive lineman that is going to Furman.
Boy, he's a big boy. He's about 285 pounds, 6'3" senior. They've got him listed as a defensive end and tackle. At that time, he got the handoff.
So he picked up about a yard, so down to about the 2-yard line.
Boy, Coach Witten knows where to put the players in what positions and to be most effective. Takes a lineman and puts him in the backfield for short yardage. So it's 2nd and goal. Cyclones have 3 plays to get it into pay dirt.
What happened there was illegal substitution. They broke the huddle, and there was one too many players on the field. They did substitutions. They're going to, instead of being on the 2, that backs them up to the 7, so that really hurts them here. Clock's still running. Should have stopped on the penalty.
6 minutes to play. 2nd and 7. Everett looking in the end zone.
Got it!
Oh, he dropped it at the last minute. He had it momentarily right there in the corner of the end zone. I don't know if his feet would have been in bounds or not, though, Terry.
Yeah, nice throw.
He used every bit of that back end zone area.
Nice throw. I think Ryan trying to get his feet in, just
beautiful arc spiral.
It was a beautiful throw.
3rd and 7.
You don't see that happen very often. I've not seen it happen. Ryan just normally just eats that up right there. So here we go, 3rd down and goal from the 7.
Let's see what they call.
Got to have it here. Timeout.
Whoop. Boy, they just barely blew the whistle before the snap. Timeout, Elizabethton. But Coach Witten knows how important this touchdown is to take the lead with 5:51 to play here in the first half. And Greenville leading 3-0 most of this half. So how important is this play going to be, the next 2 plays, 3rd and goal?
Yeah, I'll tell you, a tremendous game plan right now by Coach Witten and this Elizabethton offensive coaching
You think he'll try to kick a field goal if he doesn't make it here?
Yeah, I think he would. It depends on how much they pick up here, but tremendous game plan. I mean, they're just wearing down this Greenville team. They've shortened this game. I mean, Greenville's hardly had the football here in the first half. I mean, Cade Ballard's is such a threat. Their offense is so powerful, but if they don't have the ball, there's nothing they can do. And this running game that Elizabethton has utilized has been to perfection here, and just wearing them down and moving down the field. I mean, 5:50 to play, and Greenville's only had the ball a couple times, so just tremendous strategy here.
Now, I understand that Elizabethton was 3A last year. They moved up a notch to 4A this year.
First time since 1996 that these 2 teams have been in the same division. All right, here we go. They still got the fade route to Ryan down here on the left, but also in the middle is going to be open like it was on that completion to Hall.
2 wide to either side. He's looking to the left. He's got a man and couldn't quite grab it over the head.
I think that was
the defender.
I think it was interference. He was hitting him before the ball got there.
Well, the receiver trying to reach over the helmet of the defender who was fronting him that time in the corner of the end zone. He got it on his fingertips, but he just couldn't quite pull it in.
Yeah, but the thing was that was interference. He was getting hit while he was trying to reach for it. They should have called that. So here we go.
We'll be seeing a field goal attempt now from the 14-yard line. This will be a 24-yard field goal to tie the game. The snap, the placement, the kick is up, and it is good. No good.
It is no good.
Looked good from up here, Terry, but
It did look good.
no optical illusion.
It did look good, but it must have been slightly left.
They had plenty of distance, no doubt, but it just didn't get through the uprights.
That's a shame there, because really Elizabethton should have had 7 points right there. They had the ball on the 2, had that illegal substitution, which pushed it back to the 7. Otherwise, they could have run the football in.
Well, you know, have they had that much success running the football so far this half?
Well, I mean,
They have.
They have.
Some a little bit, but he's going to the air a little bit more, it seems like, down the stretch here.
But, I mean, that really should have had 7 points. It should be up 7-3. Now I got to come up with another stand.
He's got 21 touchdowns on the year, passing, the quarterback, Everett. Only 2 interceptions.
So a pickup of about 5 on the play. Jared Grindstaff there on the tackle. This is really crucial right now that the Elizabethton defense doesn't have a letdown. They've got to make a stop, because if Greenville drives this ball down the field and scores, then the momentum really shifts, and got to get the ball back here with a chance for over his head.
Missed snap, bobble snap, and back to the 15. Ballard falls on it, and it's going to bring up 3rd down.
3rd down and about 15, as they lost 10 on that one. Snap over his head. That's what Elizabethton needed, a big play like that. Now forcing them into this long yardage situation and going into the wind. Greenville's got to be a little bit worried right here about trying to throw the football very far down the field here into this wind. Wind's eased off a little bit from what it was early in the ball game, but it's still blowing somewhat.
3 wide to the far side, 1 wide to the near side for the Green Devils.
Elizabethton's got
looking to pass here.
Looking for the back. Look for the back on the flare.
He's looking, got plenty of time.
Get him.
He decides to run it, and he's not going to get it.
Great job.
Well, evidently good defense by the defensive backs. You couldn't find anybody open.
Yeah, tremendous coverage right there.
He had plenty of time, didn't he?
That time when they went trips up top, they had three defenders out there with them. I said earlier they had 2 and then the safety. That time they put 3 in the safety. The guy that was open, though, was the running back flaring down here to this side, because by putting 3 against the trips, it's going to open up that back on the flare. So look for Greenville to come back to that later on.
So the punter back at his own 7-yard line, awaiting the snap. 1 man back deep to receive for the Cyclones.
Low line drive kick, and it's short. It goes out of bounds.
Corey Russell back there anticipating the reception.
Out at the 46, a great field position, 3:31 to play. This wind has really been a factor in this ball game here, Len, because first quarter, Elizabethton going into the wind couldn't really do very much, and the punts were held up and giving field, on the first one gave good field position punting into that wind. Now it's the reverse. Elizabethton's gotten 2 great field positions because Greenville's been punting into the wind.
Wonder if it's calmer on the field than us up here in the press box, up on the roof.
Yeah, could be. But that punt goes up in the air, though. It catches it. So here we go. It's open in the middle. Only
Everett,
5 guys in the box.
He's looking to pass.
In the middle, right there.
He's got him. He could score.
Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying. The middle is wide open. The safeties are too wide in that 2 deep zone, and it's opening up the middle, and Elizabethton can eat them up. We've seen Hall get him down there on the first one. Evan Perkins, I mentioned to you, they're going to try to double Ryan Wetzel, and Evan Perkins is a guy that's overlooked. He's a tremendous player. 443 yards receiving, 443 receiving this year, and he just made a huge play.
Junior, 5'10", 170-pounder. Here's Everett again, looking for the receiver in the corner. Boy, he's going to get that corner reception here in a moment. He keeps going to that left-hand corner of the end zone, just off the fingertips of number 83, the intended receiver, and that'd be Ryan
Ryan Wetzel.
Excuse me.
14 touchdowns this year. Tremendous receiver. Yep. You keep doing it, he's going to eventually get one. But they're backing out a little bit now. The corner's a little bit worried, so he's playing loose. So you can throw something quicker out here this time.
Wetzel at 6'3".
Oh, Corey's got it.
And up to the 5-yard line.
Russell on the carry.
Down to the 5.
So now it's the problem.
Yeah, we got
3rd and goal from the 5.
3rd and goal. Well, we've been here and done that just recently here in the second quarter.
I think they ought to roll this way with Carter. He's a great quarterback rolling to his left, even though he's a right-handed quarterback. And with his trips, and run somebody on the out, because that corner's starting to play a little bit loose. He's so worried about the fade that I think he's susceptible to the out route, especially if they roll action, because the roll action gets the trajectory of the football in a straight line. They're going to call timeout here. They're letting this clock run down.
Well, what interests me just then was the 4 receivers were out of the huddle on the line of scrimmage as the other players were huddling up, which tells me maybe they're not in the play this time. Maybe they're going to try to run this one in.
Well, I think they thought Coach Quinn was going to let the clock run down and let the play clock run down and then call timeout. Trying to use as much time. That was a smart move there by Coach Whitten, because what happens here is whether we score or not right here, you want to limit the amount of time that Greenville has with the football before the half. But I think that what's happening here with that trips, Greenville looks a little susceptible against that trips. Now, we've tried 3 fade routes to Ryan over here in this corner, and we've almost hit him. But now the corner's starting to loosen up, and I think that if we roll that way, that it'll open up one of those receivers on the out. I think it'll open up either Evan or Zach or Ryan could run an out over here, because they're backing out of there. They're so scared of that fade route. And that's been the bread and butter for Ryan Wetzel all year, is that fade route. So, but I think if we roll this way, wide side of the field, Carter hits somebody. Let's see how the corner plays it. Corner's playing up a little tighter this time.
2:20 is all that remains here in the first half. Probably their last chance to score here in the first half. A pitch into the end zone again. The fans were pass interference, and they did it.
That was unbelievable.
Is that the same player that was guarding the last time they tried that play?
He's interfered with him like 3 times tonight, and they didn't call the first 2, and finally they called the 3rd one. So that's going to give them.
So it'll be half the distance to the goal. They'll mark it at the 2.5-yard line, where it'll still be 3rd down and goal.
That's the problem. Then in college or the NFL, that would be an automatic first down. But in high school, it's just half the distance to the goal, and it's still 3rd down.
I like those pass interference calls in college. Automatic first down.
I'm spreading them out and let Corey run this thing in.
Yeah.
I think Corey can get in there.
Man in motion. And it's a direct snap to Russell. He may score, and he's about a yard short.
They submarined him. He was about ready to go up in the air and dive over the top.
So they will spot it at the 1-yard line, I think, Terry. Well, no, they'll spot it at the 2. Only about a half-yard they give him.
Let the clock run down again, and they call timeout again.
I don't know if Coach Whitten's going to try the field goal.
We got no timeouts left.
Huh?
We have any timeouts left? We got 0 up on the clock.
Well, a minute 30 as the clock continues to tick down. Are they going to take a penalty?
They're going to kick the field goal.
Okay.
They took the penalty.
They took a penalty to get the field goal unit in?
They wanted to use up as much clock as they could.
So, too much time, and
darn.
We're ball at the 2s. Let's see, they're going to mark it off? Yeah.
It's a tough call right there to go for it from the 2 or to. It's a tough call whether to go for it on the 2 or try to kick it. And Coach Quinn decided to kick it, and so that's why he took the delay, because he wanted to use up as much clock as he could so that Greenville wouldn't have the ball, wouldn't have as much time with the football.
So a 5-yard mark off there at the 7. This will be from the 14-yard line, a 24-yard field goal, about the distance they missed earlier The kick is up, and this time it is good.
Jackson Holly that time. Jackson Holly going in to kick it. He's the backup quarterback, and he also is the JV starting quarterback, but he's a very good kicker, and he kicks well under pressure.
Is that the one that tried the last one?
No, he went in this time. First time Jackson's kicked it here tonight, but he kicked the game winner for the JVs back against Mitchell back second game of the JV season this year. Had a 39-yarder to win it as the clock expired, and he made it. So he's a real great pressure player.
So Elizabethton played Mitchell in JV football.
Yeah.
Did they play their varsity?
No, just the JV. So 1:27 to play here in this first
All
half.
knotted up at 3. How appropriate for this big rivalry, and a lot of people counting on this game. A lot of people have circled this game for a long time on their schedule. They knew it was going to come down to these two. Of course, Elizabethton now in the same classification as Greenville. They moved up a notch to number 4A. The 4A division.
Right now, Greenville with less than 60 yards of total offense. Elizabethton has dominated this first half. It's kind of it's a shame, really, because Elizabethton could easily be up 14-3 right now, and instead it's a 3-3 ball game. And so
I'm sure Coach Witt's just glad to get on the scoreboard, no matter how they get on there.
But when you dominate a half like Elizabethton has, you'd like to be rewarded for it, and they haven't been rewarded yet.
Oh yeah, they had some good field position to work with too.
Cade Hensley kicking this. He's a tremendous leg. He'll blast this thing out of the back of the end zone.
And it sails, and it will sail out of the end zone. So Greenville will take over at the 20-yard line with a minute 27 to play.
Take over first
and
off the 20.
We may see a few Hail Marys before it's over with to see if they can get down the field a little quicker.
But they have going into that wind. I don't know if they're going to take any chances right here.
Well, I think not.
I think Coach Ballard will probably play it pretty safe. They still got their 3 timeouts left, but he's probably going to play pretty safe. If he gets a couple first downs, at least one, he'll start to maybe open it up a little bit. But right now, I think he'd like to go in the locker room and come up with a different strategy here offensively.
So let's see what the Green Devils can do.
Oh, pass! Halfback pass.
Yep, he decides to tuck it under instead, and he doesn't get anywhere.
There's a little inside reverse handoff, and he was looking down the field. What they were really looking for was Crawford, who was in the slot, ran down the seam on the post. He was open initially, but he didn't see it. That was number 11.
Yeah, number 11.
Dorian Goddard. He's their number 2 receiver.
Yeah, 207 pounds, 6'3".
But he had so much pressure on him, didn't have time to find Crawford, who was open on the post initially, but eventually then Drew came across from his safety spot and took it away.
Under a minute to play here in the first half. This time the give is to number 47. That's Ty Youngblood.
So Greenville's just trying to use up the clock right here. It's 37 seconds left, 35. Let's see what time when he blows the whistle.
Grindstaff on the tackle for Elizabethton.
He blows the whistle, the 25-second play clock at 30 seconds. So there's only they can let it run down to 5 seconds before they have to snap it.
Well, they definitely don't look like they're in a hurry to get downfield, so I think they're content on going in with the tie ball game.
Hand off inside.
And Ty Youngblood again, and that's going to do it.
He's got the first down. It'll stop the clock long enough to move the chains. We'll see if Greenville, see if the 2 seconds left on the clock, see if they're not even going to try to run anything. What a ball game. Everybody thought it was going to be a high score offensive matchup, but it's 3-3 at halftime.
So both teams head to their respective dressing rooms. And we've seen an interesting first half, a low-scoring first half, a defensive battle between these 2 top-ranked teams in the state of Tennessee. And we'll be back for the halftime comments here during this 20-minute break. It's all tied at 3 between Greenville and Elizabethton, fighting it out for the number 1 spot in the conference. And trying to move up in the rankings is Elizabethton. We'll be back after these high country messages.
Welcome back to the MTN Game of the Week here at Elizabethton High School. Elizabethton Cyclones, the state champion. Elizabethton High School band getting ready to perform here at halftime. It's going to be a great treat for you. We're going to keep our cameras on here at halftime to show you this halftime show, but a fantastic group. I tell you, they practice all the time. They work so hard, and this just look at, I mean, they're a college level band. A couple weeks ago, they played down with at University of Tennessee, 103,000 people watched them play, and they're the state champions. So here we go.
State champions, our very own, the Bitsy Band.
The yardmaster told me I've got to get this train out on time today. Oh, I didn't see you there. You know, some people say life's like a railroad track. If you pick the wrong train, you could end up in the wrong destination. And if you end up in the wrong destination, well, there's no telling what could happen. So always choose the right pathway in life. Always pick the right train. People get ready, there's a train a-comin'. You don't need no ticket to get on board. When the train's in the station and it's time to buy your ticket, speak up. What's your destination? This is the sound of one voice, one spirit, one voice, the sound of one who makes a choice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of one voice. This is the sound of voices three. sound of voices free. Right on time. The 8:30 train is leaving the station. Tickets, please. All aboard! Now it's time to ride the rails! The train that you picked is now your right.
Band.
What a fantastic performance there. I tell you, it's the best I've ever seen. Never anywhere in America can you find a high school band that can play like that. That was a fantastic performance. That's why they're the state champion. I got with me now. We're going to have Dr. Corey Gardenhauer when we come back. He's the director of schools, the superintendent of schools here at Elizabethton City Schools, and we're going to have an opportunity to talk to him here in just as soon as we come back right after these messages. I'm here with Dr. Corey Gardenhauer, who's the director of schools here for Elizabethton City Schools, which for a lot of you would know as the superintendent of schools, does a fantastic job. Such a great pleasure to have you. And I tell you, you must be so proud. And what a performance there by that band.
Oh, I was emotional afterwards. It was something that it's a pride of our whole town. The Betsy Band, it wins state championship after state championship. We can't be more proud of them. They've worked so hard. And tonight on my way up here, Perry Elliott, our band director, said we are in good shape. So that tells me that more winnings, more opportunities to come for us this marching band season.
Yeah, but you must be so proud because, I mean, look what you've accomplished. I mean, look at this stadium. It's been built for 3 years. It's just a fantastic, I mean, it's got to be the nicest high school stadium I've ever seen. And and you've got the atmosphere, the community, the band, the football team is so great. The school system is so great. I mean, you must really be proud of the accomplishments that y'all have had.
I'm so proud to be here with our people. And I think one thing we always stress is people make the difference. It's them doing their personal best every day, and we try to get send that message to our children and say, you need to be better than you were yesterday, and you need to follow your dreams and work hard. We'll provide you avenues and opportunities. But when you look at this stadium, this was a community effort. We're in Citizens Bank Stadium. We had a lot of private donors like the LaPorte Foundation, the Citizens Tri-Cities Foundation, working with us as a partner. They helped us on this facility and also our track, and it just raised the level of competition, and it gives a place in our community for us to really gather and be together.
It's amazing what this community has. As Elizabethton is the greatest, most tight-knit community I've ever been around.
It is. It's when you look at what's community, it's people putting themselves aside and saying, what can we do for our children? What can we do together to make opportunities for people when they come here? We want people to relocate here and be a part. So, young medical professionals, people, attorneys, those types of people that come and create entrepreneurship and opportunities. And so we're really starting to just become an incubator for that.
And you got the school system is going well. The ACT scores went up again this year. But the whole, everything that you're doing at Elizabethton High School, and then also at the T.A. Duggar, the junior high, and then the elementary schools, it really is. The school system and the faculty and the administrators are tremendous, aren't they?
They are. Our people, our teachers are fully dedicated. They spend so much time after hours trying to make this just something that is special. And we want to make sure as a community we're raising our kids up right, that they have our values and they take those out and they do wonderful things. We have pilots flying on Air Force One. We have doctors. We have people that just, they've gone out, and you'll see them on the news. A lot of times we'll be on there talking about that, but they just have that extra gear that everyone's looking for. And that comes from all the way in our elementary schools. And that you have to have that extra gear. You have to find your passion and really follow it.
Yeah, and if you look around, I always talk about with my students emotional intelligence, and I think the manners that these young people have in Elizabethton, the way they're raised, the respect that they have for people, the way they treat each other, and the emotional intelligence they have for how they relate and how they can put themselves in another person's shoes in order to treat them kindly, is really, really special here.
It's key to our success.
Yeah,
I think that having empathy and understanding that you're people first, and you're doing special things, but you're people first. And we try to teach our students we try to keep them small, and as long as we can, and teach those core values. And I think that as we move forward, you're going to see Elizabethton on the map nationally. What we have, the model that we have is growing. And I know, Terry, you're a part of our Bartleby School that we're really starting, and it has already received a lot of national attention. And we're trying to really work with our students, moving them out in the community. We can't look at our four walls. We have to move them forward, looking at projects, working in our community. Our hope is that they may choose to stay and work on those projects after graduation and be a part of our community.
Yeah, I saw you down there at the end of the first quarter with Mr. LaPorte. Tell us about that, if you would.
Oh, the LaPorte family. Sam tonight we recognize because he came, he looked at our all abilities playground we needed to build, and he said, I'll match whatever you raise.
Really?
And so when he came on board, we knew that it was going to be success. He is such a light in our community, and his brother Joe works with Citizens Bank, and so does he in our community. And between the four brothers really have made a huge difference in everyone. I think they just take care of everyone in our town.
And what a ball game here tonight. I think Coach Witten and his staff have done a tremendous job. What a game plan they've come up with. Really, we should be ahead 14-3 or so right now. We dominated that entire first half. It's 3-3, but what a ball game.
Oh, it's a ball game. Tonight is perfect weather, a perfect game. Both sides are committed. We're going to see what's going to happen in the second half. Who will have the better game plan? I think we will.
Yeah,
I think that we really have to focus on keeping our defense sharp, containing what we have, and then trying to look at opportunities through the middle.
Yeah, Greenville's got such a potent offense, and the defensive game plan tonight, the defense coordinator for Elizabethton and the defensive coaches have done a tremendous job. I mean, really have held them to less than 60 yards of total offense in this first half. And Coach Witten has come in really, Carter Everett's such a tremendous passer, and we got such great receivers, but he really came out tonight with a running game trying to wear down that Greenville defense, and they really, as that half progressed, they were wearing them down, and we got down there inside the 2 twice.
We just missed opportunities, but we know that those are open. We know that I think the key will be, can we find someone open on the seam? Can we then run up the middle? Can we look at some options, maybe some bubble screens, maybe some flare passes, those types of things to utilize what we have coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, you're right, because when we go to a double slot and we take them out of there, they only end up with 4 defensive linemen, 1 linebacker in the box. They only got 5 guys in the box, and Corey Russell then is running the football. But the other beauty is because the safeties are coming off those hashes, so conscious of Ryan Wetzel on that fade route, because he's caught 14 touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
And so they come off the hash, it's opened up that middle. Evan Perkins with a nice catch up the middle, Keelan Hall with a nice catch up the middle, and so that middle is there. And so Coach Witt, I just think he's come up with a beautiful game plan.
He has. It's tender, time to exploit it, and see if we can get some points on the board.
Yeah, but you must be so proud. I tell you, you look around this stadium, it's a packed house tonight. You couldn't get anybody else in here. I mean, they're standing everywhere. They're on every seat. We've got an unbelievable band. We got an unbelievable football team, unbelievable group of cheerleaders. The fans are so into it, so passionate. I mean,
I think this is the best place to be. I know it's the best place to be in Elizabethton tonight, but I think it's the best place to be. It's our community sharing with each other, being together, and focusing on our children. That's what we do every day, but we just get to show it on Friday night.
Yeah.
And we're blessed to have a community that comes out. The whole town is shut down. If we could turn the camera around and look at how much traffic's on Elk Avenue, which is probably about a 20,000 to 30,000 car a day avenue, we would show you there was probably about 3 or 4 cars out there tonight. So this is just awesome, and it's great to be a part of it. I want to thank you for coming tonight. This is special to our kids. A lot of people watch the broadcast and see this as an opportunity to get our name out and get the word out about our kids. They're phenomenal.
Yeah, but you're such a tremendous leader. You do a fantastic job here as the director of schools, and you really lead the faculty and the staff and the administrators and the students, because you care so much about everybody, and it's obvious the way you treat everybody with so much dignity and respect, and so it's such a pleasure to work for you and for you to do and to be around you and watch your leadership.
Thank you. And key is people, and investing in people, and I think that's the best investment we can make. Relationships are relevance, but it's relationships first, and so we're proud of them, and I'm just happy that you all are here tonight, and I hope that when people come out to Elizabethton, we want to flood this every game that we have. We want people here, and so come on out, see us.
So we got 2 million people all throughout the region that we can reach, and so hopefully some of those will come. But thanks so much, Dr. Gardenhauer. It's been great to have you.
Terry.
And thanks so much for spending time with us here at halftime. Get ready to start the second half. And Dr. Corey Gardenhauer, Director of Schools here, done a fantastic job at Elizabethton City Schools, and thanks so much for being here with us.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the MTN Game of the Week. Getting ready for the second half kickoff. Thank you, Dr. Gardenhauer, for being here with us at halftime. Thank you for the Elizabethton Betsy Band. And here's Cade Hensley kicking off into the wind, so may get a return on this one.
And here we go for the second half third quarter. Oh, daylight opens up. They're going to have to close him off real quickly, and they finally do. After all the damage is done, though, all the way down to the 37-yard line of Elizabethton.
And that was
a run back, Terry.
Yeah, Cade has got such a powerful leg, can kick that into he usually kicks it out of the end zone, but because it's into that stiff wind, as I was mentioning there, opportunity for the return and a great return, and he gets it down to the 37. It's been a ball game of field position thus far. Whoever's had the wind behind him has had a big advantage in this ball game.
Boy, he had a lot of blockers all around him all the way down the field, too. So 1st and 10 for Greenville. What field position?
Going to try to run the football here. Looks like Greenville's come out with a strategy to try to pound the football, see what they can do offensively. Again, they went trips to the left that time. Elizabethton with only 2 defenders over here in the flat, and a safety rolled across behind. So it does open up the opportunity for those type bubble screens. Now going back to a double slot this time.
Well, I'm sure both locker rooms are awfully spirited with the 3-3 tie at halftime.
Oh my goodness!
And they got him in the backfield before he could get back to the line of scrimmage.
There we go. Nestor again there with on the tackle. Nestor Grubb there, tremendous, leads his team in tackles, and you saw exactly why right there.
And that was Ty Youngblood, who had quite a few carries in the first half.
3rd down and 6, so this is a big play right here, Len.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Fake to Youngblood.
Got to make a hit,
And he's going to pick up the first down, number 11.
We got a flag down. I don't know what that would be. It didn't look like they were up around the face mask at all. So, but
that's
Goddard. It was thrown near where the tackle was made.
That's Dorian Goddard, who had a few receptions in the first half as well.
Face mask only be a 5-yarder. Coming into the ball game tonight, Len, I saw Coach Sorrells. I played with Tim Sorrells down at Furman, and he was from Greenville, Tennessee, and his father was the head coach at Greenville for 18 years, all the way up to 1998. His last game was a 3rd-round playoff defeat against Elizabethton, and it was by chance I walked in with him today into the stadium. He's come from Greenville to watch the ball game.
Wow. And here's a run up the middle and a good pickup straight up the gut of the defense, and it's down to about the 15. Well, guess who I saw at halftime, Terry?
I can guess.
Jason Witten is here tonight.
He's flown in for the ball game.
The Cowboys have got a bye this week, so he's got some kind of a fundraiser he's going to tomorrow. I'd like to get his interview tonight if we could.
2nd down and 4.
Here's a Youngblood again, or rather that's Goddard. Well, yeah, that's Youngblood.
But Coach Sorrells is a legend over in Greenville, and he had 153 wins during his career. But as I mentioned, his final game, 1998, was after 18 years there. It was a loss in the 3rd round of the state playoffs to Elizabethton, and but. I used to see him in all my games when I was playing at Furman. He would come down to Tim and I played together, so he would come down and watch all our games. He
didn't go to Furman.
No, he was his son. Tim and I played together.
Okay.
So here we go, 3rd down and 2. Huge play here because if Elizabethton we can force them into a field goal situation here if.
So 3rd and short. Let's see
if set, unbalanced line to the right.
See if the Cyclones can stack them up, and they're not able to. Good run up the middle by Youngblood once again.
Elizabethton's going to have to do something there because they're going to come out and run that play again. They're just going to stay in that because right there it was apparent that Elizabethton didn't make an adjustment to that unbalanced set with a power I. And so if I were Greenville, I'd just come back and run that play and line up in that same formation and go at it again. Because when you have if you found a little soft spot on a defensive, let's see if Elizabethton makes the adjustment.
Yep, they gave it to Youngblood again, the sophomore. He's looking for the end zone, and he's got it. Touchdown, Greenville.
Carries for the touchdown.
The first touchdown of the ball game.
Set up there by a nice kickoff return. And only a short field, 37-yard drive is all it took right there.
I tell you, he's 6 feet tall, 195 pounds. He looks like he's bigger than 195 pounds.
Yeah, he does.
Shoot, I'm 205, and he makes me look like a squirt.
So here, coming out, Shepherd, as we talked about, hasn't missed a kick all year. 38 for 38 extra points, 4 for 4 now on field goals.
And the snapper down on one knee. 9-3.
Oh, he missed that one. Oh, man.
Well, it was low, but it got across
I don't know how that did. Just a line
and
shot.
the uprights.
It is good.
So it wasn't a pretty kick, but it gave him a 10-3 lead.
So
8:53 to play in the third quarter, first possession of the second half, and boy, they took advantage of that first possession.
yeah, they did, and it really just ran, with the exception of that one third down pass, the rest of the time it was all running game. They just came out and pounded the football that time at Elizabethton. And,
Well, that's why they got their 3 points, was on their first possession of the first quarter.
Yeah. But Elizabethton's going to have to make an adjustment on that power eye unbalanced set, because they did it on 2 plays there and picked up more than 10 yards on 2 plays, and so that's going to be their bread and butter coming down in this second half, unless Elizabethton can come up with they have to shift their front over and try to make an adjustment against that unbalanced set.
Boy, that return on the opening kickoff of the third quarter, what a killer. Man, that guy just, I mean, that really gave them the spirit out here, the Green Devils, and to go on down and score the first touchdown of the game. So the momentum is on the Green Devils side as they get ready to kick it off to Elizabethton, who finished and went into the dressing room with the momentum on their side. And this will go deep in the end zone. It'll come out to the 20.
It's interesting because they're going into that second half. Greenville would have chosen to receive because they deferred in the first half, so they chose to receive there, and then Elizabethton chose to kick into the wind in the third quarter, and could potentially have chosen to kick with the wind in the third quarter, but Coach Witten wanted the wind behind him in the fourth quarter, and what we saw there was then kicking into the wind in the third. Greenville get a great return. So we've seen a game really of 3 different quarters, and whoever's had the wind behind him has had a huge advantage from field position.
And the wind is blowing right to left.
Yeah.
As you can see on the flagpole behind the scoreboard.
Russell.
Here's Russell. And Russell is met with a hard hit there at the line of scrimmage. Youngblood gets him there, playing both ways for the Green Devils.
What you've got here is when they go double slot, Greenville's lining up in that only 5 in the box, but they're trying to sneak those outside linebackers in a little bit. They're not getting as wide as they should, and so potentially that's going to open up the slot receiver to the outside.
Well, Youngblood's that middle linebacker. He's a tough cookie down there, the fullback and the middle linebacker for the Greenville Green Devils.
Looking down the middle, Carter's going to run it.
Everett looking, and he decides to run up to the 27, 28-yard line.
Nice job there by Carter, tucking it and taking it right back up the middle.
So it's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, 3rd down and 3 here. This is a huge play because you really got to use clock going into this wind, because you don't want to keep giving possessions with the wind. You don't want to keep punting into that wind here. So let's see how they line up. They're going to really a cover 5 type look. Tight end in the ball game, so they got 2 linebackers, 6 guys in the box.
They'll snap it back to Russell, standing right there.
Oh man, what a nice run by Corey. He looked like he was going to be stopped short, didn't he? But he spun and got the first down.
He got it, didn't he? They'll move the chains.
That was huge, because if you got to punt that thing into that wind now, you could easily find yourself down 17-3 before you knew it.
Well, that's awfully disguising with Russell and Everett standing that close together back there. You don't know who the ball's going to go to.
And that's even more difficult for them down there whenever there's the offensive line is between them and the football. So
So the linebackers are trying to figure out who's going to get the snap every time.
Austin Outland motions out here to this side.
Here Russell gets it again.
Actually, we got him outnumbered over here. Whenever Austin Outland, we saw him motion over. He plays running back. He's got over 100 yards rushing this year, but also over 100 yards receiving. And he was the conference 100-meter and 200-meter champion last year, so a tremendous speed. When they motioned him out here to this weak side, they didn't have enough guys to cover. The corner was still backed off on Ryan. If they run Ryan off a little bit on a fade and throw a stop route to Austin, they'll have some room over here. 2nd down and 8.
Well, nobody's left this game for sure, as the crowd has even increased, I think, after halftime here tonight.
Carter, quarterback draw.
Everett on the carry.
Pickup of maybe 2 on the play. Everett, the ball carrier.
Stop by right out.
Bring up 3rd down and about 5 to go.
3rd down and 5. Corey Russell, a great receiver out of the backfield also. They're gonna have to respect that. We haven't seen them try to throw it to Corey yet, but with this strong, the outside linebackers may run with Evan, send Evan on a seam route, and Corey flare it this way.
Everett acting like he's going to get the snap, and he does. 6'5" quarterback.
Curl route wide open.
And he is open. And a 1st down for the Cyclones.
That's
just
the
short of
weakness.
midfield.
That's the weakness of that 2-deep zone, is getting those inside. With the 3 big pass routes we've had, we've talked about that all night, is that's the weakness, the way that Greenville's playing this pass coverage. All 3 of the biggest completions of the night have been over the middle. 1 to Ryan right there, 1 to Evan in the first half, he got down inside the 5, and then 1 to Hall, Keelan Hall, on the first drive that almost scored.
You see the orange, black, and white Cyclone there at midfield. They're just about a yard short of midfield. 1st and 10.
Oh, option this way.
Oh, man, Russell got hit hard right there as he met a defender head on.
They went
to
midfield. They went 2 tight ends that time. First time we've seen that set here tonight. 2 tight ends, so they had 7 across the front. That allowed Greenville to pack it in defensively, and then they ran option right, thinking they might outnumber them to the outside, but it was just the flow, so much pursuit there by the Greenville defense. 4 guys hit Corey for no gain, or 1 yard gain.
So 2nd down and long, 2nd and 9. 4:44 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 10-3 lead for Greenville.
I think Corey on the direct snap.
And good pickup there down to the 45-yard line.
Russell on the carry. Stop by
the weakness right now, though, in this Greenville defense is when we go trips one way, or even when we have a tight end and a slot and a twins to one side, to this weak side on Ryan's side, if we flare her back or get her back out into a route over here to this side, there's not anybody to pick him up.
There's a little movement, a little tricky cadence maybe by the quarterback. Illegal procedure. Actually, it's going to go against Elizabethton.
Yeah,
might move too soon.
Yeah, just a little bit of movement. Greenville jumped also, but when they both jump at the same time, they'll call it on offense.
Boy, how many carries do you think Russell's going to wind up with by the end of the game?
He's got a lot.
He's a workhorse down there, isn't he?
I'd like to see something over here to this side, even a screen over here to Corey. Something to Ryan's side on the 1 receiver side. They put Ryan up top this time, and he's got some room. I think they're going to go fade route up top to Ryan.
We'll see. He's back to pass, decides to tuck it under, and he's not going to get out of the backfield. Boy, it'd have been wise to look a little bit longer downfield for the open receiver. So Everett decided he was going to try to run it out, and it didn't pay off.
They're going to decline this because it's going to be 4th down now. A good drive, though. I mean, they used up a lot of clock, if nothing else. 3:47 left here in this 3rd quarter. So then they used up about 5 minutes on that drive. So now they're going to punt it. So chances are this will be the last possession that Greenville has going with the wind in this ball game.
Well, what do you think? A future Hall of Famer here at the game tonight in the NFL.
Yeah.
Jason Witten.
He definitely is going to be.
He's got a street named after him. This is Jason Witten drive-through here.
Yeah, right where the high school is. Oh, gosh.
Boy, almost blocked. Beautiful high spiral.
What a nice
job. They wanted to rough it on the punter there.
They should have had a penalty there. Cade Hensley there with a tremendous punt, getting heavy pressure, blasting that thing. I mean, you punt that thing into the wind. He would kick that thing over 40 yards from the line of scrimmage into the wind. Didn't get a roll on it. If it had gotten any roll, it would have been down inside the 5, but it's going to be on the spot at the 14.
Well, you should have seen all the kids at halftime. They were taking off their tennis shoes so Jason Witten could sign their tennis shoes, you know. He must have had about 10 or 15 kids following him around.
What a clutch punt there by Cade. Tremendous effort there by him.
Here we go. Pickup of a yard or 2, and that's all for Greenville.
Greenville's made a little adjustment in their blocking schemes up front, and they're picking up some yardage running the football.
Well, we'll see how much yardage they get on this series because they didn't have a long return like they did in the start of the third quarter to get them downfield quickly.
Under 3 minutes left in the quarter, so it's going to be a long. That punt was huge because it's going to. They probably won't even have time to go the length of the field, even if they could.
Another high snap back to him. He gets it back though. Tries to get back to the line of scrimmage and does so.
That was a tremendous job that time by number 46, Joseph Collins, the defensive end for Elizabethton, because he had Ballard out there one-on-one, and he was able to stay with him and still get him tackled for a loss.
Collins, a 6 foot, 230-pound senior.
Huge play right here, Len. If we can stop him here, force him to punt, we got the football again with 2:42
Well, the players down in the field want the crowd to make some noise. Big crowd here tonight.
Over the middle.
Oh, good reception. Number 21 for Greenville. And that's Cameron Height, the junior, 6'4", 215 pounds.
We didn't get enough bump on him that time. He was in the slot. And when he was a slot receiver.
You got some good heights on these receivers for Greenville and for Elizabethton.
That's the problem when you have two guys out there against the three. Then he's getting a clean release. He gets over the middle without a bump.
Quarterback keeps it. He's got a wide open field and comes down at the 45-yard line. First down and then some.
Nice tackle by Evan Perkins, really to possibly save a touchdown there.
So they did get a lot of yardage that time, and they're up close to midfield. 2:15, 2:14 left to play here in the third. 10-3 Greenville. They've got the football.
Greenville's found a little space there when they want to throw it over the middle.
And a handoff here.
Oh, we got a flag. Could be a holding call right there, or even maybe a chop block potentially. They threw it.
That was Kilroy Hill. Kilroy Hill, the junior, running back for Greenville. Now we got a holding penalty, which will nullify that gain of about 3 or 4 yards.
Cameron Height, there, number 21, is the one that's giving him. It's going to give him trouble over in that trips. And that's what Elizabethton's going to make an adjustment here because they got Crawford on the outside, Boone on the inside of that trips formation. They can bump two of them, but Height's not getting bumped. And so he's getting off and he can sit down. If you can look, let's look at that area right about where the Cyclone logo is, just a little shallow, around the 45 or in there, right there, see?
Right there it is. That's where he caught it, right on top of the Cyclone.
You can't stop that the way they're lined up defensively because they got two receivers against those three receivers against the two defenders. They're not getting any bump. If you don't get a bump on a receiver in a two-deep zone, you can't cover them. There's no way the safeties can do any. You can't cover a two-deep zone unless you get a bump on every receiver. And right now, Elizabethton's not getting a bump.
Cameron Height, the reception. Hughes, the tackle. And this is Youngblood carrying the ball straight up to go to the defense and picks up about 5 yards. Well, we see this Green Devil team, Terry, on the move in their last two possessions. Able to control the field.
Elizabethton's going to have to make an adjustment. They're going to have to do something to this trips. They'd be better off bumping. You got to bump Height.
60 ticks of the clock is all that's left in the third. Here's another screen pass this time.
See, that's the one thing I've said from the beginning is that the way Elizabethton's choosing to defend it, they got two guys against the three out there, and that's where Greenville's attacking. The bubble is another case of where you've got the other two guys can block against the two defenders, the two defensive backs that are up tight, and then you force a one-on-one tackle with the safety. But he can't make a tackle until it's about 8 or 10 yards downfield.
New set of down. And the quarterback will keep it, and he's got a wide open hole and gets it down inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line, and another Green Devil first down.
Well, Elizabethton's going to have to make an adjustment there because even if they make a couple, one or two good defensive plays, it's still going to be wide open to Height for the first down. So they have to take that away first and then try to stop anything else.
3 wide to the near side. They give it to Youngblood off the right tackle. He's fighting for yardage and gets it inside the 10 down to about the 9.
Clock's going to run down here.
Boy, how effective is this Youngblood kid for Greenville?
They're doing a good job blocking here.
He's not only a defensive linebacker, middle linebacker, but
They're going to let
the
this clock
fullback on offense.
They're going to let the clock run out.
Yep, 2 seconds, 1 second. And we've got only 12 more minutes to play in this big arch rivalry. Two top 5 teams in the state rankings coming in tonight. Greenville undefeated, and Elizabethton with only 1 loss, and that coming back in the early season, back in August. They're on a 6-game winning streak, the Cyclones. And we've still got another quarter to play here from beautiful Elizabethton, Tennessee. And we'll be back here for the MTN Game of the Week right after these high country messages. Back here in the Citizens Bank Stadium, the brand new stadium. Only been here for 3 years, in a beautiful stadium with the artificial turf, and we're ready for the final quarter.
We got to make a stop here.
Here's Greenville threatening to score, and they do! The first play of the 4th quarter, and they get into the end zone. Ty Youngblood.
Right now, Greenville's just whatever they're doing, and they're running the football inside, they're throwing the ball over the middle, they're throwing the bubble screen, their quarterback keeper, everything's working for them right now. And in order to come up defensively, you've got to stop something. You got to take some things away and force them to do something. And then you kind of know what they're going to do. Right now, Elizabethton's having trouble on that drive. First drive we've seen where they had trouble stopping kind of anything, and therefore Greenville able to keep them off balance the whole drive.
He'll be the point after. 16-3. On one knee, the hold. The kick is up, and it is good. Number 25 with the boot through the uprights. And it's 17-3, Terry. Well, Elizabethton, they're going to have to get something cranking here soon because they trail by 14 points, and all they need is 2 scores.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, we got the football here now. We've got a whole quarter left to play. It's 11:55 to play in the ball game. We got the wind behind us the rest of the way. So if we can put together a drive right here, we're still really in this thing, because we can now, let's start, we can throw the football some, still run it occasionally, get into what we got such a strong passing game, find that over the middle, complete some balls. Once we start hitting them over the middle, those safeties are going to have to start squeezing toward the middle. That'll open up the deep threat down the sideline with Ryan and Wetzel and some of the other guys. Evan Perkins maybe on a wheel route. And then all we need is one good drive, and then Greenville's going to be punting into that wind, and we get the football in a short field and go right back in and tie it up. So we're still in this thing. The wind really in that third quarter, with being behind Greenville, kind of changed the complexion of this game, but now we've got a chance if we keep our heads up to take advantage.
They're going to have to, Terry. They got Jason Witten in the house.
Yep.
They're going to have to put it together and win this ball game. Lovely night for football. Temperature's very nice for a mid-October night. And it's Friday the 13th, no less.
Corey on the one. Corey can break this thing.
Go, Corey, go. And he's up to about the 25-yard line, 24 we'll call it.
As I was speaking with Dr. Gardner, the director of schools here at halftime, I was mentioning how tremendous how the young people here in Elizabethton, they respect the manners, the emotional intelligence they have, how kind they are with each other. And example, Jason Witten's example, if you saw the NFL Hall of Fame ceremony this past summer with Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, being chosen into the Hall of Fame, he actually said up there on the podium that Jason Witten was one of the top 5 people, not just players, but people that he's ever met. And that shows another, the class that Elizabethton people have and the young people have growing up here.
Now, I'm sure Jerry Jones knows what he does for his community as well off the field.
Nice run there.
Handoff and a pickup of about 4.
We got to find a way to throw the football here. I mean, we've got Carter Everett with 1,500 yards passing on the season coming into tonight, 21 touchdowns, and if we're going to have a shot to win this football game, we're going to have to find a way to throw the football here.
Everett, actually, it's Russell gets the snap. He quickly fires over to the left side, and it's incomplete, a little low there. Wetzel, a little low for him to grab. He's pretty tall, 6'6", and had to reach down pretty low for that one.
This is a huge play right here because we don't want to be punting it back.
3rd and 6.
The middle has been the weakness of this pass defense.
3rd and 6.
They've rolled that safety up on the top side.
Here's Russell again.
Oh, he's got some room. He's got some room.
I think he's going to decide. Oh, he decides to run it, and he got him right there at the line of scrimmage. Well, he looked like he was going to change direction and get the pass off, and then he elected to tuck it under and keep it. Thinking he had a little bit more chance of picking it up on the ground, but
really this ball game has been an even game if you really look at it. It's a 14-point lead, right?
For the whole.
Yeah, but in the first half, Elizabethton should have been ahead 14-3 or so. He got down to the 2-yard line twice and only ended up with 1 field goal to show for it. So really, if we'd had 2 scores right there, this game would be 17-14 right now.
Well, a nice punt with the wind at his back, and it's down there at the 35.
It is down at the 36.
36, they'll mark it.
So about a 40-yarder there from Cade.
Yeah, we had some games last night here in the state of Tennessee. About 3 or 4 contests were played on Thursday night, and a coach up here in the press box said, yeah, well, maybe they did that because they could come see this game tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's how big of a game this is.
It's the number 1 game in the state of Tennessee.
Yeah, number 1 game in the state of Tennessee.
See,
and we're happy to be here to carry it to you. We'll have this game airing in the future. You can tune in and watch it over and over again on Mountain Television Network, Channel 18, on Charter and Sky Best Cable.
I think we got to start blitzing. I think we got to blitz them to stop the run, and we got to go man coverage because we're going to have to take some gamble on the man coverage. Bubble screen.
And here's a completion.
See, they're eating us up out there because we only got 2 guys against the 3, so they can either hit height on that little slant sort of in route, or they can hit the bubble screen, and they've got both guys blocked. So I think we just got to go man coverage and just play man, and blitz to stop the run, and that's our best shot to take away the 2 things they're doing well right now, which is one is running up the middle, and the other thing is throwing to this trip side.
So new set of downs at midfield. Another ball carry up to down to the 46-yard line. Gary, I think you said you were going to make arrangements to have this game online for the folks over here in the Elizabethton area that are unable to pick us up on cable television.
Yeah, we're over the air. We go way past Elizabethton. We go all the way past Kingsport, past Bristol, all the way up toward Kentucky, but on cable for them to see it, so we'll show it online. Yeah, so 2nd down 6. Oh, man, nice move.
Good run, 35-30, and
we got a holding penalties, 2 of them.
Got some laundry down right there at the 39-yard line, so let's wait and see.
That'll be good. That'll back them up, make it 2nd down and about 8.
Not a lot of penalty flags in this game tonight, have it?
Very well played. 2 excellent coaches. As we mentioned, Ballard going for his 100th win tonight in his career. He's been the head coach there since 2009, won 2 state championships, one in 2010, one in 2011.
Do you feel like the officials sometimes, when you get two teams with a high rank like these two are, that you sort of want to control the flag throwing and make them win or lose it on the field?
Yeah, give the players a chance to earn it. I think you're right. And Sean went with 93 wins coming in tonight, so two excellent coaches.
How many? 93?
93. We got trips we got to take away here. We got the roll up man coverage down the middle.
Oh, he's got a man open and it's incomplete. He overthrew him.
But see what happened there was Elizabethton jumped. They lined up like they were normally. They jumped into a man coverage, just like I was saying before. That's what we have to do. And although height got open, the timing of the throw was thrown off, so Ballard ended up throwing it high. If he had thrown a good pass, Height had come clear behind the man, but the timing was thrown off, so his footwork was wrong.
You know, on the routes, I've noticed a lot of receivers wide open in the middle of the field tonight for both teams.
Yeah, that's because of the way this coverage is. Oh, Ballard keeping it.
And he scoots up down the field to the 40-yard line.
He's going to be a yard short. It's going to be 4th and 1.
Yeah, they say his knee touched at the 41.
Now
so
watch what happens here. They're going to go power eye set. Power eye set, I'll bet you.
And they will go for this.
Power eye, unbalanced line. On a Ballard. What's Ballard going to get? Power eye set, unbalanced line. Elizabethton, I hope they've made an adjustment here. And they got a blitz. They're going to have to blitz that side.
We're not seeing Coach Witten making any substitution, trying to get more meat up on the line.
Watch, here we go. Power eye set, unbalanced set.
Center at 300
They're actually
pounds.
balanced this time.
He's going to get him to move. He's going to try to pick it up on a cadence. Timeout Greenville. He was trying a little tricky cadence to try to pick it up on the offside penalty.
They went power eye that time, but instead of going unbalanced to the right like they had the last two times on that initial touchdown, they went balanced sets. They had a tight end to each side, but they still have the power eye set to the right. What that does is allow you more opportunity to come back to the left, back to that weak side, but you got to think that, you got to run something until somebody can stop you. So if you line up in that power eye unbalanced set and make Elizabethton have to make a play, well, we saw them do it twice already tonight, and they picked up more than 10 yards in total on 2 carries. So you got to think with all that weight in the backfield there that they'll try to find a way to get 1 yard doing the same thing.
Kerry, I saw the FCS poll yesterday, and there's 7 teams in that top 25 that we have carried on the MTN Sports Network, including Elon and Western Carolina, the Citadel.
All right, we got to blitz. We got to blitz it. We got to blitz it. We got to blitz.
And they will get it, the full line of scrimmage right there in front of him to push him back. And man, look at the pile of white shirts there. Gosh, a lot of players in on that play for Greenville.
A good drive here by Greenville, just keeping the clock running. 7:55 to play now in the ball game, so they're going into the win. And this is using up a lot of clock. Elizabethton has got to go man coverage. They got to go man coverage and blitz. Blitz the inside linebackers. Send 6 guys to stop the run. And go man and take a chance here.
Fresh new set of downs for Greenville.
There we go.
Here's Youngblood again. Boy, Youngblood's getting a lot of carries. Russell for Elizabethton getting a lot of carries. Controlling the ground for both teams. They're key runners. And we've seen some good completions in the pass category as well, but most of this game has been on the ground tonight. 7:17 to play. Clock continues to tick down. 17-3, Greenville. Greenville trying to win their 8th straight game of the year. Here's number 20 with the handoff.
Evan Perkins coming in from the corner to make the tackle. It's going to be 3rd down and about 1.
Javon Gillespie with one of his few carries on the night for Greenville. Boy, to have so many players on the sidelines, they don't do a lot of substituting into the game. They stick with pretty much their starting lineup.
Huge play here. You got to send the 2 inside linebackers. They're both coming up A-gaps right there.
Here's the quarterback keeping it this time. And he picks up the first down yardage off the left tackle.
Right here's a situation where the Elizabethton players are feeling like the game's getting away from them. 6:21 to play in the ball game, losing by 2 touchdowns. And you got to, in this situation, you got to bow up. You got to feel like you can't let your heads drop. You know, you can't think, well, you know, because the only way you're going to win this game is by giving your absolute maximum effort on every play, the maximum you can possibly give. Man coverage, so they're going man and they're blitzing. Man coverage and blitz, it's the only chance they've got because they haven't been stopping either the run or the pass to that trip side. So you got to take a chance. You know, they may beat you for a touchdown over there on a pass, one-on-one, but they're just going to eat you up doing it the way they're doing it. So you got to take a chance and see what you can come up with. But right here, Elizabeth just got to make a play. Somebody's just got to make a big play. We need a turnover would be ideal, but we can make a stop here. He won't be able to kick this into that win. Hold him right here. We still got time if we make a stop.
Gillespie once again on the carry for Greenville. 2nd down and 8.
There we go. Good defense.
And the quarterback keeping it. Pickup of a couple. Well, I'll tell you what, Terry, I see a lot of weight advantage for Greenville. I see a lot heavier linemen down there for their protection.
We've got to make a play right here. This is where we've got to give it everything we've got on this play right here.
Here's Gillespie again, and he breaks one tackle. He's in the clear, and he's going to get 6. So Gillespie with the touchdown, the 5'10", 185-pound junior. And it's now 23-3. A 20-point lead is opened up for the Green Devils. It was a 3-3 tie at halftime if you just joined us. Here's Shepard with the kick. He's been perfect tonight. And it's good. 24-3. So
that was a big drive right there because they used up about 6 minutes on the clock, and so even if they hadn't scored, they made it so there wasn't much time left for Elizabethton. So that was the best drive of the ball game, really, because it was the first scoring drive we've seen going into the wind, and they just used up so much clock that they did exactly what they needed to do. And
well, I don't remember Gillespie in their offensive game plan too much in the first half, but he showed me a lot there in that fourth quarter.
You're right. I mean, they've really come out with him in the second half and utilized him this whole second half, and they've run the football.
They've been using Youngblood mostly in the first half, and now they've got Gillespie, who's about the same size player as Youngblood.
Shepard to kick, Russell and Hartley lead.
So Coach Kane Ballard ready to win his 100th game here in foreign territory in Elizabethton.
We're not done yet, though. We
nope, still plenty of time. 4:37.
Corey, if he can break one right here.
We need a big break, don't we? And he gets up to about the 30. Yeah, they just need to spring one for a quick score and do it again and one more time before this one's over. They need to come up with a few interceptions, a few fumble recoveries or something on defense as well.
Coach Ballard actually originally was a coach at Maryville High School. Maryville's won 11 state championships over here. George Quarles, who was a Furman player and was the head coach there for 18 years, won 11 state championships. He's become the associate head coach at Furman this year, but he actually learned how to coach at Maryville. Here we go, Carter Everett. Oh, inside little shovel pass to... That was an unusual play. It was a direct snap to Corey, and then he went shovel to Austin Outland.
Allen with the carry.
You know, I look for Coach Whitten to maybe do maybe a few little trick plays or something to get this defense a little more confused for Greenville.
I got Evan Perkins down here, maybe on a wheel route and a post route,
reverse or
post
something.
route coming with Ryan on the fade.
Here's got Russell deciding to run it. Looked for the pass and didn't have anybody.
Russell on the carry.
Nice run there by Corey. Picks up about 5.
Kershaw with the stop.
Tell you, Russell, not a big player, about 5'10", 165 pounds, and
he's a tough player. I mean,
he's tough. He's tough. He sure is.
He was really the player of the year last year in the conference. I mean, he's got 2,200 yards rushing. He had over 1,400 last year just in his sophomore season. We got to get 3rd down and 2.
Here's Russell getting the snap this time, and he's going to be hit real quick there at the 40.
We got to hurry, though.
It looks like he may have picked up the 1st down. Let's see where they spot it.
We got to try to throw it here. We got to give Carter a chance to throw. 317.
Yeah, we got to throw it. You got some tall receivers down there that can do a post pattern downfield and catch it over the defenders.
But see how Greenville against this trips when they go. They walk out another linebacker onto that inside, so they got 3 guys up tight and the safety across behind.
Watch number 83 here at the low screen. Across the middle, that's where it's open all day, and it's a good catch and almost a 1st down.
Nice shot, Keelan Hall there. That was on the in route. Again, we've seen the 4 completions that we've really had tonight have been over the middle. I think Ryan's got a shot here now. Ryan's got a shot here to beat him on the deep, on the fly route.
Here's Everett looking to throw it. Gets it over to Russell. Russell catches it over midfield and into Green Devil territory down to about the 45-yard line.
So
another 1st down for the Cyclones.
2:27 to play. I think you got to take a shot to Ryan over here. We
got to get a shot, man. They're down 3 touchdowns. They got to score. But they got to get something going downfield quick. 2:22, 2:21.
Ryan can out-jump people to the ball. He's
a big kid, 6'5", 6'6".
Of his 14 touchdown receptions, 8 of them have been just out-jumping people.
Like a Benjamin for the Panthers.
Good job there, Evan, with the catch.
Yeah, good catch there. Good low grab by Evans there at the 35.
It's going to be another 1st down.
That's another 1st down. We just got to, like that, we just got to keep moving the chains.
1st down.
One play and move the chains. Go for 10, 15-yard pickups. 2 minutes to play. 2-minute warning.
Got to hurry.
From the 35.
Got to hurry.
Don't have time to let the clock tick away there.
Only 5 seconds left. Got to snap it quick.
Are they trying to get the play from Sean on the sidelines? Is that what they're doing?
Yeah, I think Sean was trying to see what the defense was going to line up in before he called it, but it ended up using up 25-second play clock, so they had to call a timeout. 1:46 to play in the ball game. 1st and 10 on the 35, but we're seeing Elizabethton open it up for the first time tonight. I mean, Carter Everett is a tremendous quarterback, and we're now seeing him dropping back and throwing the football. And Greenville, has got some holes back there in that secondary. They're not doing the greatest job in coverage.
Well, we're seeing some fans beginning to leave this Citizens Bank Stadium. Greenville fans as well as Elizabethton fans. Well, Elizabethton, like we said, jumped from the 3A ranks up to the 4A ranks, and that's a pretty good little jump. We see teams over in North Carolina move from 1A to 2A or from 2A to 3A. It's a pretty good little jump, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, really, Elizabethton was the better team in the first half. Should have been up 14-3, and ended up only 3-3, and then Greenville's been the better team in the second. But right now, Elizabethton's tough in this passing game. Ryan can send Ryan deep.
Everett looking, he's got the rush on him. Oh, he had to let it go pretty quickly, and I think he's going to draw a roughing the passing penalty.
Yeah.
Number 11 hit him after he'd thrown the football. He rushed the pass. That's why he had to get rid of it so quickly before the receiver ran his complete route.
Greenville penalized.
Did these two teams play last year?
No. They haven't played for several years because they haven't been in different divisions and
Right.
different district, different size schools. It's the first time they've been together in the same district since 1996.
Wow.
So here we go.
What a good game for MTN to bring to the folks.
Rolling.
Russell fakes once.
Evan.
Now he sprints to the
Evan,
side. He's got a
Evan,
man wide open.
Touchdown!
That's what we need right there, Terry.
Late hit on Greenville, too.
That's what this Cyclone team needed.
Evan ran a little corner route there, and I was yelling to it the whole time because the defender was starting to sneak forward, and Evan got in there behind him. Corey evaded the rush and was able to get that pass off, and Evan Perkins, who's been a tremendous player all season long.
Yeah, we had two men wide open in the backfield, too, or in the back of the end zone when he let go of that ball.
So a 15-yard penalty, late hit. It was a blatant late hit on Greenville, too. Very surprised at how late 9 yards deep in the end zone they hit him.
So here's the kick. It's up and it's good.
Kick is good.
That's Jason Holly.
So we're going to be kicking off from
Jackson Holly.
We're going to be kicking off from the 45 of Greenville and an onside kick, is coming.
Oh, you know it's coming.
If we get it, we'll be inside their 35.
Now let's just see if Elizabethton can get the onside kick.
What a tremendous effort there. Just Elizabethton players never giving up right there. Down 24-3, put together their best drive of the night. Carter Everett with some great passes, some great catches there.
See, I see more size on Greenville's side. I see more speed on Elizabethton's side.
Yeah.
They're a little smaller, a little faster. And maybe they can get to that onside kick and beat him to the football here.
But Corey Russell with a beautiful throw there, evaded the pressure, evaded the sack, rolled all the way to his right, and Evan being smart, when you run a route, once that quarterback, which in this case Corey was theoretically the quarterback, even though he lined up as a running back, he was the one that was going to throw the football. Then Evan, once you see the quarterback break, the play break down, it becomes a scramble drill. Evan broke deep into the corner, and Corey, keeping his eyes up, found him. What a tremendous play.
It was, man. I saw it opening up, and Russell just bid the time to let his receivers get open, and then he uncorked it. Like I said, there was two guys open back there on the base of the end zone.
So right now, getting ready to onside kick. Jackson Holly, is the sophomore, is going to be onside. He's a very good onside kicker. We saw him get one in the JV game just the other day.
And what a way to recover the onside kick in their territory.
He actually onside kicked it, and Elizabethton JV recovered it.
And it's got to get down to the 35-yard line.
Oh, darn.
And they jumped on it right there at the 32.
Greenville recovers the onside.
Yeah, anytime you're able to kick off in the other team's territory and recover the onside kick, you're doing that much better.
But we got 2 timeouts left, so 2 timeouts, and then they run one play. So we got a chance. We've got a chance to get the ball with about just under a minute to play if we can stop them here on three plays.
Well,
we got to
folks
send
that left
everybody.
the stadium, they missed one of the best plays by Elizabethton to score here.
Good play.
Their first touchdown of the ball game. Yeah, that was Elizabethton's first touchdown of the game, and 24-10 looks a lot more respectable on the board. But they want to come up with a fumble or something here, Terry. A minute 13, a minute 12. Greenville in no hurry to snap the football.
Elizabethton's got 2 timeouts left, but they're saving them. They're going to have to use them after this play.
Yeah, they'll definitely have to use them after this play. 1 minute, 14 seconds, 13 seconds still on the play clock. Well, they're going to take advantage of that whole play clock. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Get that football knocked out.
Timeout.
Boy, they're going for the football in that tackle, too.
Timeout.
Nope. I don't know. Looks like he's not going to use it, Terry. Wonder why.
3rd and 6.
Both teams with 2 timeouts. Nobody's calling one, and this is going to probably be the last play of the ball game here. They give it to Gillespie, who got the last touchdown, and that's going to do it. Goose eggs on the scoreboard, and Greenville wins its 8th game of the season, 8-0, and remains on the top spot of the 4A poll. Elizabethton will drop to 6-2.
Yeah, great ball game, really even ball game. You know, you figure Elizabethton had a chance to get 14 in that first half. Could have easily had 14 and ended up with only 3 and out of that. And so they ended up with 11 points less than they could have had. Add 11 points to their score right now, they would have had 21, and they would have had a chance then to get the ball back and maybe win, chance to win the game, 24-21. But Greenville, you got to give them credit. They came out in the second half, made some adjustments, and really started running that football really well. And that's not their style of play either. Coming into the game, as I mentioned, Ballard had carried the ball 83 times. The rest of their backs combined only carried 77. But tonight, they just kept handing the ball off in that second half. You called it through the second half. They went away from their passing game, went to a handoff running game and pounded the football, and he had some success. And then Elizabethton had trouble against that trips. They never could stop the trips with the bubble, and then height on that little controlled slant in route. Elizabethton was outnumbered over there, and so they never really could find a way to stop that. And so Greenville just went back and forth between running the football and then throwing it when they got into trouble on that against that outnumbered 3 against 2. And that was really, and because of that, Elizabethton had trouble stopping them that whole second half. But you really think the game hinged, and we see them saying their prayer down there now, the game changed there in the third quarter.
Good sportsmanship down there, Terry.
Yeah, we kicked into the wind. And so they got a great return off that opening kickoff to start the second half, didn't they? It was only a 37-yard drive is all they had to put together. And so the wind in that third quarter, championship games are won in the third quarter, championships are won in the third quarter. And I think that third quarter with the wind at their back just gave Greenville that advantage that allowed the momentum to shift. And then there wasn't enough, the momentum had shifted there in the fourth quarter, and Elizabethton put together a great drive at the end, but just not enough.
Well, Greenville will have Granger next week there at Greenville High School, and Sullivan South will be coming here to Elizabethton High School next week. But Elizabethton's 6-game winning streak comes to an end, and
yeah,
and Greenville
8-0 now.
8-0, 8-game winning streak still intact, and they protect their #1 ranking in the state of Tennessee in 4A football. And I guess Elizabethton will probably fall a few notches, but Elizabethton's only losses coming to 2 very fine football teams. Science Hill back in the probably the first game of the season. Back in early August.
It was first game of the season.
And here they face the #1 team in the state for their second loss. So they hadn't lost to too bad of a team, that's for sure.
Well, the thing was, the first half, Elizabethton played as great a first half as you could possibly play. I mean, they held Greenville to under 60 yards of total offense. They drove it down there twice to the 2. They only gave up 1 field goal the whole first half. Really could have had a 14-3 lead, and at minimum should have had maybe a 10-3 lead. Really dominated that first half. And so, sometimes when you play, I mean, you couldn't have played a better first half, but you didn't have that much to show for it because it was 3-3. And then you come out in the second half, Greenville gets a little bit of momentum on that kickoff return, has the wind at their back, drives down, scores, and then the momentum shifted. And really, that shift should have only brought Greenville back into the game. It shouldn't have put them ahead, because Elizabethton really deserved to be ahead at halftime. And so, but then Greenville got ahead, and then the momentum just kind of turned at that point. But what a great ball game! If you look at the statistically, at the end, it's going to be, a pretty even ball game between the two. It's just that we didn't convert when we got down in there close a couple times. And Greenville, every time they got down close, they were able to get it in the end zone in that second half.
Yeah, we weren't able to get our hands on any stats during the game, and we'll try to do that next broadcast we have. But it's been a very good experience up here. I've seen this stadium from the highway many, many times going over to Johnson City. But what an environment, what an atmosphere, what a crowd here tonight for these two top 5 teams in the state of Tennessee in 4A football.
Yeah, it was jam-packed. It was standing room only. They were all around the whole stadium. It must have been 6,000. Look at it lining up. The coaches are shaking the hands of every player as they go by because the effort that these Elizabethton players gave was just unbelievable. They played as hard as they could possibly play, gave it everything they could possibly give, and those coaches are thanking them for it as they line up and go across there. That's a really special moment there for the Elizabethton coaches
like you
to
said,
be doing
they know how hard they played in the first 2 quarters. 3-3 tie against the #1 team in the state.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's a class move there by Coach Whitten and his staff to do that and shake hands with each one of these guys as they come across.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jason's down there, his brother. I don't see him. I got to see him up here in the stands. I was that close to saying hello. And if I said, "Hey, Jason," he didn't hear me. He was sitting right there, sitting right down from Sarah. Was he? Up here? Up here? Well, I should have at least patted him on the back or something.
But tremendous effort there by these Elizabethton players. Did a fantastic job, and so proud of them for what they've done here tonight. So for the effort that they've made, and really had a shot to win it. Could have legitimately won this football game tonight because of how tremendous they played in that first half, and then how they were able to throw the football there late in that ball game. But you got to give
Coach Ballard down here. He's got his players together along with the road faithful of the Mean Green, and
you got to give them credit. Coach Ballard he came out in the second half, made some adjustments, came up with changed his game plan. Coach Whitten had the most beautiful game plan you ever saw, and the whole Elizabethton coaching staff did in that first half. Greenville came out with that momentum with the wind at their back.
They looked like a different team in the third quarter, didn't they?
Yeah, they just ran the football really well. I mean, they just started pounding the football, and they were able to be successful with that. And he got his 100th win tonight, so he's his 100th career win for Greenville.
That's why they gave you 20 minutes to huddle in the dressing room at halftime and talk to your players to make adjustments, just like Greenville made when they came back out here in the second half.
Yeah, he's a great football coach. Coach Whitten's a great football coach, and so was 2 great football teams out here tonight, giving it everything they had. And for the first half, and all the way into that second half, it was these fans, these 6,000 or so fans that came in tonight and packed this place to a full capacity. We're seeing one heck of a football game, weren't they? I mean, it was a great game.
That's Channel 5, WCYB's camera down there, and you'll see the highlights on Channel 5 tonight on the late sports, and they're down there interviewing Sean Whitten now there at the 40-yard line. But very interesting contest. I'm surprised we've not done an Elizabethton game over the years. We did Clallan and we did Unaka and Avery or Watauga. We actually did Elizabethton in Boone, Terry, when Watauga Pioneers played them. You remember that?
Yeah, we did Elizabethton against Watauga up there.
That's when I got some words with Sean Whitten before the game.
But what a great ball game. I'm proud of these Elizabethton players.
There's a lot of good football in this area. You got Happy Valley, you got Science Hill, you got Davy Crockett, you got Daniel Boone, you got a lot of good high school football in this Tri-City area.
Yeah, we really do. They're so committed. I mean, they practice all the time, all summer. They're just practicing all the time. They had 5 weeks of preseason. They work so hard. They got great coaches. They got a great commitment. And these young men for Elizabethton, I get to see them every day in school. I'm teaching here at Elizabethton High School, and I get to see them, and they're such fine young men, and and it's a great pleasure to be around them. and they're just a class
Boy,
group.
Sean's such a classy coach too, going
Yeah.
around shaking everybody's hand, giving them a high five.
Yeah, and
Win or lose, I mean that's a character mark for him right there.
Yeah, but and just a complete class here for all these Elizabethton players and the whole entire coaching staff, as you mentioned.
Plus, your brother's a Hall of Famer in the NFL.
Yeah,
and I'm a Redskin fan.
but what a great effort here for Elizabethton. I'm really proud of these guys, and they can really hold their heads up and know that they came out here and gave it their absolute best. Ended up coming up a little bit short because that's the way it is. But if you give your absolute best, you're a champion whether you win or whether you lose. It's not all about whether you win the game. It's whether you give it your absolute best effort, throughout the whole year, not just on game night, but throughout the whole year, throughout the whole week leading up to prepare for the game on game day. And if you do all those things, which all these Elizabethton players did and these coaches did, when you do that, you walk off this field with your head up, and you're a champion as much as anybody's a champion. Champions aren't just about winning games. A champion is about what you have inside and what you give and how much effort and how that you give, and the commitment that they showed, these young men. And the class they showed was tremendous tonight, and I'm really proud of them.
It's like Thomas Davis for the Panthers. He said, we go into the game thinking that we're going to win this game, but you got to also realize that when two teams go up against each other, there's going to be a winner, and there's also going to be a loser. So you got to keep that in the back of your mind so you don't get your feelings hurt. Yeah. But you go into the game with all the confidence you need to win that game. But you got to realize one of you is going to come out a loser.
Yeah. So great ball game. Really enjoyed it, Lance. It's been tremendous, and enjoyed getting together here for you and I here at Elizabethton. First game we've done here at Citizens Bank Stadium here in Elizabethton, and what a beautiful place they have here. And Elizabethton City Schools, such a fantastic school system. Dr. Gardenhauer, we had him on at halftime. We saw the Elizabethton state champion band out there, the Betsy Band, fantastic performance like they always do. Saw the players do a tremendous performance, and the whole community, as we look out upon all the cars leaving the parking lot. I mean, what a crowd here, and the way community, both communities, but Elizabethton, the way Elizabethton supported their school and their team and their team and their school.
Brett, our cameraman, getting a line of taillights leaving the parking lot. It's heavily crowded.
It shows you the support that they have for their everyone here.
Well, maybe we can make a trip back over here, Terry, and do another regular season game, maybe even a playoff game in November, because it's a lot of good atmosphere. You got some good teams over in this part of the state. We're fortunate to live just an hour or so away. At least I am. But I used to go to Johnson City all the time when I was with the Parks and Recreation Department. They had a nice trophy shop in Johnson City. I'd run over here about once a month,
Yeah.
But I don't come over here often enough. And one of the few good football games I've seen in the state of Tennessee was tonight, and I enjoyed doing this game with you.
Yeah, I had a great time. Len did a tremendous job. Really enjoyed it, and I'm just proud of this Elizabethton High School.
Not too often we do the number 1, number 4 ranked team in the state, is it?
No.
Head to head.
And I'm so proud of the whole city of Elizabethton. So proud of the Elizabethton High School and all the Betsy Band, Dr. Gardenhauer, all the faculty and staff, the coaching staff, and all these young men that played for Elizabethton tonight. So proud of them. Just tremendous job, and we really appreciate all that everyone gives here.
We had the greatest hospitality in the world as we walked into the stadium. They were as happy to see us as we were to see them.
Yeah.
And they said, you guys on the radio? No, we're going to put this one on television.
Yeah. And that's why they're just so nice. The people are so nice here, and that's why.
And they're so appreciative to see a TV camera come into the stadium and 2 announcers to do the game. And we hope the fans enjoy watching this one. And we'll air it for a number of times for you to see it, mostly there in the evening time. If you're like me, maybe in the early morning time, late at night.
But it's just like Dr. Gardenhauer said, the people here are so kind and so nice. He wants, they want people to move into the area and see what a great place it is here in Elizabethton.
Well, that about does it. The score is still on the scoreboard, 24-10, and the score in the game much closer than the scoreboard shows. A very competitive game, especially in the first 2 quarters, 3-3 at halftime, and then all of a sudden Elizabethton saw the Green Devils get a little hot on them and able to pick up some big yardage on them pretty easily there in the 3rd quarter, and it just sort of got away from them. But they fought back, got their only score, their only touchdown of the game late in the 4th quarter, but it just wasn't enough to get by the number 1 ranked team in the state. Well, for Brett Smith on the camera, I'm Lynn Murphy along with Terry Smith saying so long from the Volunteer State. We've enjoyed carrying this one, and Greenville takes it home 24-10 and stays on top of the 4A division in the state of Tennessee. Till then, or we'll see you later. Have a nice weekend, and so long from beautiful Elizabethton, Tennessee.
Thanks, Lad.